Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy KCM What Ifs. Today we are gonna be reading Hashirama's Heir, or What If Naruto Was Hashirama's Successor. So sit back, relax and enjoy. As soon as Genma started the match, Gaara's sand seeped out of his gourd as he said, "Mother wants your blood." Right. Well, why don't you try to get it for her?" asked Naruto as he got into a ready stance. Gaara stood still as Naruto waited for him to make a move. "Well then I'll come to you," said Naruto as he sprinted at Gaara. Naruto lashed out with a kick that was intercepted by Gaara's sand. Naruto placed his leg back down and had to evade as Gaara's sand chased him around. Gaara stood stoic with his arms crossed as he continued to send sand at Naruto. Naruto just kept evading the sand, but it never deterred Gaara one bit as he never relented. Naruto, having enough dodging, decided to attack. Gaara watched as Naruto dodged his sand once more. Gaara was prepared to send another wave until a mop of yellow hair appeared. Naruto performed a shunshin to get close to Gaara. "Hello," said Naruto as he planted a vicious punch to Gaara's face. Gaara's sand had no time to react as Gaara was sent a few feet back. Gaara's sand armor cracked slightly as he looked up at Naruto, who was standing in the same spot he once was, in the audience. "Go Naruto-kun," was the voice of a new arrival. "Lee-san," said Sakura as Lee came hobbling in on crutches. "Hello, Sakura-chan." "Nice to see you," said Rock Lee as he watched Gaara slowly get up. "Naruto-kun knows that taijutsu won't beat him." "I used 5 gates and it still wasn't enough," thought Lee. Kakashi looked on as he thought, "Wonder what Naruto will do to get past that defense?" In the Kage booth. "That boy is pretty fast. The way he just appears, especially with his golden blonde hair, reminds you of Yondaime, doesn't it? Then he's a Jinchuriki who hails from the Senju clan. He could be a powerful asset one day," said the Kazekage as he looked at the fight. "Orochimaru, do you think me senile? It's quite obvious that you. But I shall banter back and forth with you to see what you plan," thought Hiruzen as he replied to the Kazekage. "How true you are. Though I believe he has more in store for us." Orochimaru looked at the Hokage as he said, "You're saying there's something more special to him than being the Kyuubi Jinchuriki?" Hiruzen only smiled as he returned his attention to the fight. "Maybe. Only time will tell." Arena floor. Gaara stood up as the cracked armor on his cheek repaired itself. "Glad to see you fix your makeup," said Naruto as he saw Gaara send another wave of sand. "Not this again," thought Naruto as he dodged again. "Punching him a million times won't help, as Rock Lee clearly proved that. I could use Kurama on him, but it's rather redundant to use the same power twice. Let's just go with plan A." Naruto dodged the sand once more as he pulled out a scroll. Naruto opened the scroll and let it fall to the ground as he placed his hands in the ram seal. Naruto stomped on the scroll as he thought, "Suiton, Hanryu, water style, tearing torrent." From the scroll under Naruto's foot, a huge amount of water came splashing out of it as it fired off toward Gaara. Gaara's wave of sand immediately rushed to defend Gaara against Naruto's water. The water and sand clashed against each other for about a minute until Gaara's sand finally held firm. Once the water died down, Gaara sent another wave of sand at Naruto. However, Gaara's sand had turned slightly muddy from Naruto's jutsu and was rather difficult to manipulate like normal. "Gotcha," said Naruto as he took off at Gaara again. Gaara saw Naruto appear again, this time with a right cross incoming. Gaara was lifted off the ground again from Naruto's punch, but before he could fly away, Naruto grabbed his foot. Naruto smiled a deadly grin as he spun Gaara around and hurled him into the sky at a rapid pace. As Gaara was flying in midair, Naruto clapped his hands together and prepared another jutsu. Now time to drench that sand armor. "Suiton, Suidan no Jutsu, water style, water bullet technique," thought Naruto as he fired off a powerful ball of water toward Gaara. Naruto's water ball smashed into Gaara as his now heavier, sand couldn't get there in time to defend him against it. Kage box. Damn that boy. Gaara's sand absorbs water, making it less effective due to the added water weight. He's picking him apart, seethed Orochimaru internally before he smirked unnoticeably. Perfect. Gaara will transform and then the invasion will start. Seems Naruto's doing quite well, said Hiruzen. Yes, it does seem that way. Using water to weigh down Gaara's sand is ingenious. But it'll take more than that to stop Gaara, said Orochimaru. Naruto-kun better put him down now before he begins to access his Bijuu's power. Naruto might have to use his Mokuton if Gaara can transform further than him, thought Hiruzen as he eyed the match. In the audience. Kakashi, what the hell did you feed those two genins of yours, said Asuma, Team 10 sensei, as he placed a cigarette in his mouth. He had seen Sasuke's fight too and both of them seemed unreal. Kakashi smiled as he said, nothing. I did nothing. I gave them a few pointers here and there but for the most part, that's all. Kiba snorted. I bet he gives them steroids. I mean Sakura is a medic now, right? I bet she shoves a needle in there started Kiba before he was smacked by Sakura. Shut up dog boy, said Sakura as she calmed down and returned to watching Naruto. Everyone returned to the fight as they watched Naruto perform his next attack. Everyone gasped as even Asuma's cigarette fell from his mouth. Back to the fight. As Naruto was firing off his water bullet, he put his hands back in the ram seal. Iwa Bunshin no Jutsu, rock clone technique, thought Naruto as two clones rose from the ground beside him. The clones knew exactly what to do as they disappeared in a shunshin. Gaara was soaking wet as he hung in the air after Naruto's jutsu. What makes him so strong? Is it because he's a Jinchuriki? Thought Gaara as his sand was finally nearing him. Gaara's sand was too slow as both clones made it to him first and promptly gave him a bear hug. This'll hurt, said Naruto as he channeled some chakra. Boom! Both clones detonated, causing a huge explosion in midair. From the cloud caused by the explosion, rocks and a smoking figure came plummeting to the ground. Finalist box. Sasuke smirked as he saw Naruto's attack. Nice combo. But I can't forget about my part in this, thought Sasuke as he looked at Temari. Temari and Kankuro were shocked to see Gaara get taken apart so easily by Naruto. Gaara, shouted Temari. Did he kill him? Thought Temari frantically. Gaara, thought Kankuro. Okay, I'm glad I didn't have to face Naruto. I'd rather face you Sasuke than get that, said Shikamaru as Sasuke scoffed internally. Naruto won't know he said that, thought Sasuke as he turned his attention back to the fight. Naruto v Gaara. Naruto walked over to the smoking figure lying prone in the grass. Upon reaching it he realized something was wrong. Replacement, said Naruto as he turned around to face the real Gaara. Gaara had left his sand armor behind and narrowly escaped the explosion. Gaara was standing on the opposite side of the stadium with his hands in the tiger seal. Gaara had a few single marks on his clothes but other than that was relatively fine. Seems he replaced himself at the last second with his sand armor. Must have been right as the clones got to him since he was still caught in that blast slightly, thought Naruto as he saw Gaara covering himself in a sand dome. As the sand dome was closing up around Gaara, Naruto flung a kunai with an explosive note at Gaara. Boom! As the smoke cleared from the kunai, Naruto noticed that it didn't accomplish anything. Naruto then looked up to see an eyeball appear in midair. Seems that sand is denser than the previous sand. It won't be taken down by some water or an explosion. I'm sure he can still manipulate it like normal, so there's no point in attacking straight up. That eye is probably in the sky to help him see outside of the dome. How to get past it, thought Naruto until he heard Kurama in his head. Naruto. After Naruto mentally nodded to acknowledge, Kurama continued, that's the opening phase of Shikaku's Bijuu transformation. You won't get through that defense with power. But there is another way. After getting the plan from Kurama, Naruto clapped his hands together. Naruto burst with bright red chakra as he took on a one-tailed state. "Here I come, Gaara," said Naruto. "Futon, Daitapa, wind style, great breakthrough," said Naruto as he channeled Kurama's chakra into the jutsu. A mighty gust of wind ripped through the stadium toward Gaara, picking up dust and debris along the way, obscuring the view of the fight. Gaara's sand dome held firm against the powerful winds and didn't even look fazed. However, Naruto was nowhere to be seen. The people in the crowd scanned the area for Naruto, but it was like he vanished without a trace. After about a minute of nothing, Gaara came sailing out of his own sand dome with a bloodied wound on his chest. As the dome crumbled apart, Naruto could be seen standing in the dome with a Kyuubi-enhanced claw outstretched. It was slightly covered in blood as his chakra shroud dispersed. Doton, Maruragakure no Jutsu, Earth style, hiding like a mole technique, gotta love it. "That dome protected you from everywhere besides down," said Naruto as the crowd looked on amazed. "What is this warm liquid?" questioned Gaara as he touched his chest. "It is blood." "My blood," shouted Gaara as he began to stand. As he was standing, the gourd on his back began to surround his upper body. The gourd eventually merged completely as Gaara was covered in sand across his entire left torso. He also had a large claw of sand appear over his left arm. "Prove my existence, Naruto," shouted Gaara as he leaped at Naruto with his claw outstretched. "So that's the Ichibi," said Naruto as Gaara was approaching. In the audience, "Another Jinchuriki," shouted a civilian in the stands, and people began to panic slightly. "Oh no? Senju-sama's out there with him," said another civilian worried about the boy. "Don't worry, Naruto's Bijuu is stronger. He'll have no trouble against him," said Konoha Chunin as the people around him began to calm down slightly. "You're right," however, Naruto only showed a one-tailed Jinchuriki state. If he can't access more than that, then Gaara will win. A full-powered Bijuu is better than a one-tailed Jinchuriki, thought Guy as he eyed Kakashi. Why is he so calm about this? His genin is in trouble. An Umbu was standing a little behind Kakashi and Guy. This Umbu was not a real one though, he was actually Kabuto in disguise. "That boy is transforming here. This could be trouble, but why doesn't Orochimaru-sama want me to give the signal?" thought Kabuto as he was eyeing the Kage booth waiting. The Sand sibling sensei, Baki, was thinking the same. "Gaara's transformed already, this isn't good. We need to get him to the village, but I haven't seen the signal. What are we waiting for?" Finalist box. "Of course that guy's a Jinchuriki too," said Shikamaru as he watched the fight. "Are you one as well, Sasuke?" questioned Shikamaru in jest. He was internally worried for Naruto but figured Naruto knew when he was in over his head. "Like I would need that power," said Sasuke arrogantly as he continued watching the fight with his Sharingan on. "Wonder how Naruto's gonna beat him." Rock Lee pounded him and he still got up. "So what's Naruto going to do?" thought Sasuke as he eyed Naruto smashing into Gaara with punches. Arena floor. After punching Gaara a few times, Naruto kicked him into the wall violently with a roundhouse. Naruto took on an uninterested look at Gaara's new tactics. Gaara came out of the cracked wall as he saw Naruto's bored look. Gaara got angry, just like everyone else. "Stop ignoring me," said Gaara as his sand covered him. Gaara's entire torso, down to his knees, was covered in sand as a tail grew out of the back. "Is that what Shikaku looks like?" asked Naruto as he watched Gaara. "More or less. He's basically in a one-tailed state," replied Kurama. Gaara had several mouths open up along his body as he prepared a jutsu. "Futon, Mugen Sajin, Daitapa, wind style, infinite sand cloud, great breakthrough," said Gaara as he let loose a sand cloud. In response, Naruto slammed his palms on the ground. "Doton, Dorihiki, earth style, mud wall," said Naruto as a huge wall rose from the ground. The wall completely blocked the sandstorm. It's a shame, said Naruto from behind Gaara. Gaara received a powerful elbow to the back followed by a knee to the ribs. Naruto then smashed him in the head with an overhead kick. That kick sent Gaara to the ground as Naruto grabbed his tail and flung him back into the wall. The same spot Gaara had hit earlier. You had a defense that only the fastest could bypass and the strongest could breach, and you trade it for this? That's pitiful. Raw power only beats finesse in extreme quantities and you don't have enough of it, said Naruto. Gaara looked at Naruto in pain. Why is he so strong? I haven't even touched him once. What makes him so strong, said Gaara as his anger started to rise. You won't erase my existence, shouted Gaara as he began to channel more of Shikaku's chakra. Naruto noticed the chakra spike and realized what Gaara was planning. Naruto clasped his hand in the snake seal as he channeled his chakra. The walls of the stadium and the grounds began to crack slightly at Naruto's chakra output. Kurama knew Gaara was trying to go full Bijou mode and it seemed Naruto did as well. When Kurama saw Naruto place his hands in the snake seal, he looked shocked. Naruto, are you about to dash? Yes, Kurama. If he transforms, he could hurt the civilians. It has to be done now before he gets too difficult to put down, said Naruto as Kurama agreed. In the Kage booth. Gaara's transformation. Splendid, maybe he'll kill that boy so I can be rid of him, thought Orochimaru until he felt and saw Naruto's chakra. His chakra is so potent. And at that age. I don't even feel the Kyuubi, it's all him. And the feeling of his chakra. Don't tell me. Hiruzen smiled slightly as he felt Orochimaru's inner turmoil. Naruto-kun is about to shock the world, thought Hiruzen. Naruto v Gaara. Gaara was preparing to unleash Shikaku until huge branches sprang up from the ground and wrapped around him, restraining his arms and legs. Gaara looked shocked as the branches moved him off the wall into a circle. The circle was being created by emerging wooden pillars with spikes pointed at him. Gaara felt his chakra stop building and was wondering what was going on as he struggled against the wooden binds. As Gaara was trying to break free, he noticed Naruto standing in front of him. Gaara looked up to see Naruto placing a palm on his forehead. I cannot let you harm the people in the stands, said Naruto with a serious glare. Kakuan Nitten Shirshu, 10th Edict of Enlightenment, said Naruto as Gaara began to scream. The crowd watched in stunned silence as Gaara began to revert to normal. I was once told that true power comes from wanting to protect those precious to you. This village is precious to me and as such, I'll protect it no matter what, said Naruto as the sand around Gaara moved back into the gourd it was before. Gaara stopped screaming as he fell unconscious. It had taken a full minute of suppressing the Ichibi but Naruto still smiled. It's over, said Naruto. Gemma had lost the ever-present Senbon in his mouth when he saw Naruto suppress a tailed beast. What the hell is this kid, thought Genma. In the audience. The crowd was still quiet watching what Naruto just did. You've got to be kidding me. What the hell can Naruto not do, questioned Kiba as everyone gaped at Naruto's display. Sakura found her voice as she said, Naruto has the same ability as the first Hokage. Mokutan, said Asuma, who dropped his second cigarette today due to Naruto. At that announcement, Ino looked up as she realized something. That's why Naruto loves coming to our shop. He's connected to nature. That's why the flowers always looked better when he was around, thought Ino. How could this be possible? Asked a stunned Kurenai, teammate sensei. Guy looked toward Kakashi as he spoke. That's why you were never worried, you knew he could do that. Kakashi only eye smiles in response. Though he does paint a huge target on himself. But he had to stop Gaara from hurting the citizens so it's justified, thought Kakashi was proud of his student. Kage box. Orochimaru looked shocked at what Naruto just did. He has the Mokutan. That's what the monkey was saying about him having something more special than the Kyuubi. He can literally tame it. That boy is too powerful. I'll have to kill him, thought Orochimaru as he couldn't hide his shock. Orochimaru calmed down as quickly as he could. With Gaara out of the picture now, a big part of my invasion is ruined. It doesn't matter. I came here to kill Sarutobi-sensei and that's what I'll do. The invasion is still on. Orochimaru signaled to Kabuto when to start the invasion as Hiruzen spoke to him. Seems the will of fire Hashirama-sama preached about really inherited itself in Naruto, said Hiruzen, amused at Orochimaru's shock. Orochimaru seethed internally at Hiruzen's diction. Indeed it does. But revealing that power makes him a huge target, said Orochimaru as Hiruzen nodded. True, but I have faith that Naruto can handle it, said Hiruzen, still smiling. You've grown up so much, Naruto-kun. Arena floor. Gaara lay motionless at Naruto's feet as the wood from Naruto's jutsu moved back into the ground. Genma-san, said Naruto as he waved at the proctor. Oh, right. Shousa Naruto Senju, proclaimed Genma loudly. The crowd finally seemed to get over their silence as cheers erupted loudly. Naruto smiled and waved at the crowd as he walked back up to the finalist box. Finalist box. Naruto arrived back in the finalist box as he saw everyone staring at him. You're kidding, right? Said Sasuke. What do you mean, Sasuke? Replied an amused Naruto. Forget it. I don't believe that happened, so it didn't happen. I need to get ready for my match anyway. I don't have time to wonder about your Kekkei Genkai, said Sasuke, trying to downplay Naruto's new power. While Naruto was rubbing it in Sasuke's face, Kankuro spoke to Temari. Just forfeit your match. The plan is ruined with Gaara being incapacitated. There's no reason to continue. Gemma had just announced that Sasuke and Temari would fight as Temari agreed with Kankuro. You're right. There's no need to go against the Uchiha. I'll just quit, said Temari before she heard Sasuke talk. Are you about to quit or something, fangirl? Said Sasuke with emphasis on the fangirl part. You probably are, just like your confused sister did. Temari and Kankuro both looked ready to dish out divine punishment at Sasuke's remarks. Seeing that he hadn't gotten her to commit completely, Sasuke pushed the envelope further. Sasuke smirked as he said, figures as much. I mean, I'd quit too if I was facing a man. Girls are weaker than boys anyway. And then you're from a crappy village like Suna. Weak girl and crappy village. You'd have no chance against an elite nin. I'm kicking his ass, said Temari, cutting off Sasuke as she blew him out of the finalist box. Kankuro nodded his head until he saw Naruto smiling at him. What are you smiling at? Asked Kankuro. Well, your sister just fell for it. I have suspicions about things and Sasuke's gonna help me get the answers. And who better than your sister to answer them? Asked Naruto as Kankuro looked stunned. They had just fallen for a trap. Kankuro wanted to tell Temari, but a chop to the back of the neck rendered him unconscious. Good night, said Naruto as he placed his hand back in his pocket and looked down at the fight. Arena floor. After being blown out of the finalist box, Sasuke backflipped in midair and landed on the ground gracefully. Temari rode her fan down as she still looked heated. Genma walked up as he asked, both fighters ready? A nod from Sasuke and a slam of her fan from Temari later, Genma started the match. Match 6 of the Chunin exam finals, Hajime. Temari wasted no time as she swung her fan at Sasuke again. Sasuke got struck by the wind as he flew back and hit the stadium wall. However, upon impact, he reverted into a log. Where did he get that log? He torched the whole forest earlier, thought Temari, wondering how logs are always around. Temari dodged as several shuriken and kunai flew past her. She turned around to see Sasuke standing there still smirking. You arrogant piece of shit, shouted Temari as she sent another guest at Sasuke. Sasuke looked amused at the wind. Fire beats wind, said Sasuke as he held the tiger seal. Katan, Gokakyu no Jutsu, fire style, grand fireball technique, said Sasuke as he blew out a huge fireball at Temari. Sasuke's fire seemed to gobble up Temari's wind as it continued toward her. "Oh my!" said Temari as all she could do was hide behind her fan. The fire blasted Temari as she stood behind her slightly melting fan. Eventually, the fire died down and Temari could be seen behind her decimated fan. The fan was burnt in a few places and was too hot to the touch. It was utterly useless to her now. As she was fretting over her fan, Temari had to move her head to the right to dodge Sasuke's jab. "Gotcha," said Sasuke as his jab turned into a hand that grabbed the back of Temari's head and brought them face to face. "Shit, I looked into his eyes," thought Temari as she found herself pinned down with stakes. "Welcome," said Sasuke as he materialized in front of Temari. "Now you're going to tell me about your plan to attack Konoha." Temari's eyes bulged out as she heard what Sasuke just said. It all made sense. That's why he egged me on to fight. So he could find out about the invasion. "So you are planning an invasion," said Sasuke as Temari looked shocked. "Yes, I can hear your thoughts and I can also tell if you're lying, so let's just get on with this. When's the invasion starting?" Sasuke couldn't really hear Temari's thoughts or tell if she's lying, but Temari didn't know that. Temari was content with keeping quiet until she felt the stakes dig deeper into her body. Temari screamed slightly as Sasuke said, "Please talk, they'll only go deeper if you don't." The stakes went a little deeper as Temari finally cracked. "The invasion starts when the people begin to go to sleep, that's the signal," said Temari. "Good, that's all I wanted. Now rest," said Sasuke as Temari fell unconscious. Sasuke had been staring at Temari for 3 minutes until she eventually fell asleep and he let her fall face first in the dirt. "Too easy," said Sasuke as he began to walk away. "Shausa, Sasuke Uchiha," said Genma as the medics took Temari away. She was out of chakra from her first match and was facing a fire user. She should have just quit. "I wonder, what was up with that genjutsu," thought Genma as he heard the crowd cheering at Sasuke's quick victory. Finalist box. Sasuke walked into the finalist box as he nodded at Naruto. "You were right. It is an invasion," said Sasuke as Shikamaru listened in. "Figured as much. Villages don't send a Jinchuriki to another village unless something's going down." Plus Shino said he spotted several groups of Suna ninjas and Oto ninjas on his way in. "We have to tell Kakashi-sensei," said Naruto as he and Sasuke left to the audience. "Troublesome," said Shikamaru, overhearing the conversation and knowing he'd have to fight in the invasion if it did indeed happen. In the audience. Since there was a 30-minute intermission before the finals, everyone was waiting patiently for the Senju vs Uchiha finale. Sakura and Kakashi were overjoyed at the two other members of Team 7. It's pretty hard to make it to the finals. They were cut from their thoughts as Sasuke and Naruto arrived. "Kakashi-sensei. There's an invasion planned," said Naruto. Before Kakashi could respond, an explosion rocked the Kage booth. As everyone's attention was focused on the booth, white feathers began to fall in front of their faces. "Genjutsu," thought Naruto before he dispelled it. Upon releasing it, he noticed that several Suna ninja were surrounding him and the rest of Team 7. "Damn, I was too late," thought Naruto. "Hey Sasuke, just in case we don't make it out alive. I just wanna say, I would have totally kicked your ass in that final match," said Naruto as he prepared to fight. Said Sasuke before he smirked, "Bet I defeat more." "You're on," said Naruto as he and Sasuke charged into the group of ninjas around them. The invasion of Konoha had begun. Before Naruto or Sasuke could make a move against the enemies, Kakashi and Guy appeared before them. Kakashi and Guy disposed of the enemies surrounding them quickly as Kakashi then turned to his genin. "Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura. This fight isn't yours. The others and I will handle the stadium. You three need to make your way to the village. Naruto and Sasuke will defend the village while Sakura attends to any wounded. Make haste, said Kakashi as he noticed Naruto staring at the Kage booth, where a huge purple barrier appeared. Don't worry, Naruto. The Sandaime will be fine. Plus, he would want you to head to the village anyway. You're in charge, so get going. Naruto looked hesitant at first until Kakashi said the Hokage would want him to protect the village. Naruto turned to see his teammates nod at him. Let's do this, said Naruto as he jumped to the stadium floor followed by Sasuke and Sakura. Naruto bit his thumb midway down and slammed his hand on the ground upon landing. Kuchiyos no Jutsu, summoning technique, said Naruto as a huge puff of smoke appeared. Gamabunta appeared from the smoke with the genin of Team 7 riding his head. Boss, can we get a ride to Konoha? There's an invasion happening and we're needed at the village. It's that way, said Naruto as Bunta took off for the leaf. Sasuke and Sakura stuck to the huge toad's head using chakra just like Naruto so that they wouldn't fall off. As Gamabunta was leaping toward the leaf, Sasuke spoke. We can't be friends anymore after this, said Sasuke, talking to Naruto. You're the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi, hold a Kekkei Genkai only seen in the first Hokage, and now you can summon toads. What else can you do, cause this is getting out of hand? Naruto smirked. Seems I have a better dance instructor than you, said Naruto as Sasuke scoffed. Naruto kept using his dance line against him. A few moments later, Gamabunta landed at the village gate. We're here, shouted Gamabunta as Sakura nodded and headed toward the hospital. We should make sure all the civilians are out of the way. Don't want any casualties due to collateral damage, but first let's make sure Sakura gets to the hospital, said Naruto. Naruto created several clones that acted as an escort for Sakura. As Naruto was making sure Sakura was safe, Sasuke turned to see a battalion of ninja heading for the village walls. Naruto, we have about 300 ninjas heading toward the village at 3 o'clock. What do you want to do? Asked Sasuke with a smirk. It was time to fight. Naruto looked thoughtful for a second until he slammed his hands in the snake seal. Mokuton, Jukai Koten, wood style, nativity of a sea of trees, said Naruto as hundreds of newly created trees rushed toward the group of ninja. What the hell? Shouted an Otonin as he was skewered by the rush of trees. The trees assaulted the ninjas as they were helpless to the sudden appearance of the forest. Of the 300 ninjas that were there, about 140 were left and half of those were trapped in or underneath the trees. Burn 'em. Boss, bring the oil. Sasuke, bring the fire, said Naruto as Gamabunta and Sasuke obliged. Bunta spewed the trees in a thick coat of oil as Sasuke lit the newly created forest ablaze with several well-placed fireballs. Amid the screams in the blazing forest, one Suna ninja looked fearful at the sight. This is a massacre, said a Suna ninja, who had survived the attack. An older Suna ninja disagreed. No, this scene is like the ones my grandfather told me about Hashirama Senju and Madara Uchiha. Who could have done this? Naruto and Sasuke appeared in front of the two Suna nin as Naruto spoke. We did, and we're sorry about your Suna comrades, said Naruto as he and Sasuke knocked them both unconscious. We're going to kill all Oto ninjas, but the Suna ninjas we will keep alive. Gigi is fighting Orochimaru, who posed as the Kazekage. I noticed it when I watched that purple barrier go up. He most likely tricked Suna into this invasion by pretending to be their leader, said Naruto. Before he and Sasuke separated, Naruto spoke once again. I'm winning our bet. Naruto vanished in a shunshin as Sasuke smirked. Only because I let you go first, said Sasuke as he took off to defend his home. Kage box, 30 minutes earlier. Seems we'll have another Konoha finale, Kazekage Dano, said Hiruzen as he looked toward the Kazekage. The Kazekage shifted his gaze toward Hiruzen as a smoke grenade dropped in between them. Boom! The smoke grenade detonated and created a huge cloud of smoke. After a few moments, the smoke cleared and the view of the booth could be seen. The Kazekage held a kunai to Hiruzen's neck as he lifted him to the roof of the Kage booth. The two Kages stood with the Kazekage still behind Hiruzen with a kunai to his neck. In a rectangle at each corner surrounding the two Kages, 4 Oto shinobi clapped their hands together. Shishiinjin, for Violet Flames formation, shouted the 4 shinobi as a huge purple barrier appeared around the two and a mini barrier formed around those 4 individuals. Seems we're not going to be able to leave anytime soon. But maybe it's for the best if we fight in this barrier without interference, thought Hiruzen. Kazekage Dano, what is the meaning of this? Asked Hiruzen, feigning shock. Kukukuku, it seems you've gotten senile in your old age. Do you not recognize me? I am your favorite student, said the Kazekage as he took off his face veil. Hiruzen laughed slightly but never turned around. Well, if you are my favorite student, then I may have to send you back to the academy if you perform poorly, started Hiruzen as he dissolved into mud. Doton, Doryu Taiga, Earth Style, Earth Flow River, said Hiruzen, now behind Orochimaru. The mud from the earlier dissolved clone became a mud river that swept Orochimaru down the roof. Orochimaru tried to gain his bearings but Hiruzen was having none of that. Doton, Doryuden, Earth Style, Earth Dragon Bullet, Katon, Karyuden, Fire Style, Fire Dragon Bullet, said Hiruzen as a huge earth dragon rose from the ground and fired off mud bullets at Orochimaru. Hiruzen added fire to the bullets as they rammed into Orochimaru. Are you done with this foolishness, Orochimaru? Said Hiruzen as he took off his robes to reveal his shinobi outfit. Orochimaru rose from the ground a ways away unharmed and smirked. Seems you were prepared to die, sensei, said Orochimaru as he took off his own robes. Well, let's get to it, shall we? Finished Orochimaru as he flew through several hand seals. Hiruzen attempted to stop Orochimaru by using the Kage Shuriken no Jutsu, Shadow Shuriken technique, but it was too late as 2 coffins rose to shield Orochimaru from the projectiles. Seems the 3rd coffin failed. No matter, these 2 will be enough, thought Orochimaru as the 2 coffins opened to show the 1st and 2nd Hokages. Orochimaru placed a kunai with seal tags into each of their heads. Shall we, sensei? Said Orochimaru as the 2 previous Kages sprinted at Sarutobi. Konoha. Ah! A snake, shouted a civilian as a huge snake slithered toward them. The snake was preparing to eat the civilians until a huge toad appeared. Kuchios, Yatai Kazushi no Jutsu, summoning, food cart destroyer technique, came the shout of Naruto as he appeared above the snake. Naruto summoned a huge toad that landed on the snake and crushed it underneath its weight. Are you okay? Asked Naruto to the civilians who merely nodded their heads at their savior. Naruto was still clad in his Umbu outfit from earlier, but it seemed he'd picked up a new addition. An orange scarf was wrapped around his neck that flowed behind him. He had acquired it from another civilian he had saved earlier, who gave it to him as thanks. Naruto couldn't resist it, it was his favorite color. Naruto placed his hands in the ram seal as he said, Moku Bunshin no Jutsu, wood clone technique. From Naruto's body, protrusions of wood appeared and flew out of his body to form dozens of clones. Naruto gave his clones orders to spread out and continue to assist with Konoha's defense and the evacuation of the villagers. You're pretty good, bro, said a small orange toad on Naruto's head. I will try, Gamakichi, though it seems that we're getting nowhere close to the end of this invasion. How many enemies are there? Asked Naruto. Naruto had tried to summon a small toad to get word to Jiraiya about the invasion, but Gamakichi appeared instead and stayed with Naruto. Naruto had no qualms with his presence as the small toad was good company. Looking good, kid, said a new voice as Naruto turned to see Ibiki behind him flanked with 2 Umbu. Nice scarf and matching toad, said Ibiki, amused at the comical sight of a 14-year-old, blonde kid, who is slowly becoming the most important ninja in the village, with a small toad on his head. Hey, we look good, said Naruto as he and Gamakichi fist bumped. Naruto then asked, the village seems empty, did you already get all the villagers out of here? I've only seen a handful since I've been here. Yeah kid, that's village protocol during attacks like these. You wouldn't know since you haven't had to deal with something like this before, said Ibiki as he explained. It's written in the Konoha manual that during the event that the village is attacked, we move into 3 stages of defense. Stage 1 involves us eliminating all enemy forces that have infiltrated the village. If that fails, we move to Stage 2 consisting of evacuating the villagers, while slowing the enemy's advance. And finally, Stage 3. What's Stage 3? Asked Naruto as Ibiki paused for a moment. Naruto heard a few screams and Ibiki smirked. Eliminating all threats in the village, said Ibiki as screams could be heard all over. Naruto looked to see a huge Akimichi member appear towering and stomping about. Choza. Choji's dad. That means. Trailed off Naruto as he could see several shinobi caught in Shikaku's jutsu and Inoichi causing enemy ninjas to attack each other. Seems that Ino Shikacho is powerful, finished Naruto as he watched Konoha easily handling the opposing forces. You're right. We got the village kid, you go handle the village walls. There's more out there for someone of your skill set than in here where you could potentially harm the village. Get going, said Ibiki as Naruto nodded and took off for the village walls. Kid's gonna be good one day. Strong, smart, and quite mature for his age, thought Ibiki until he remembered something, maybe not mature. You can't take a kid with an orange toad on his head seriously. Village walls. Chidori, shouted Sasuke as he cut through an Oto ninja. Sasuke turned to see Naruto appear behind him. Nice scarf. And baby toads. Nice jutsu. Seems you learned more from Kakashi than you told me. Seems we all have our little secrets, said Naruto as he stiffened slightly. A few moments later, Naruto looked to see about 30 Oto ninjas surrounding him and Sasuke. How many people are there in this invasion? One of the Oto ninjas smirked. Hello Naruto Senju and Sasuke Uchiha. We've been given orders to capture you both and that is what's going to happen. We're the elite in Otogakure, all of us are Jonin and you two have no chance. So just surrender now and this will be over with. Naruto and Sasuke looked at each other and nodded. Okay, said Naruto as he and Sasuke put their hands out in a surrendering fashion. The Oto ninja looked on amused at their surrender but took it as a blessing. No unnecessary fighting. 4 ninjas grabbed onto Naruto and Sasuke and prepared to take them away. Boom. Both Naruto and Sasuke detonated on the 4 surrounding shinobi, killing them instantly. What the hell, said one of the remaining ninja, who had a few singe marks from being in the blast radius. That's 4 more who count toward my total. I'm sure I'm kicking your ass right now in our bet, said Naruto as he had been keeping count of his kills. Naruto and Sasuke were standing on a nearby tree branch overlooking the group. Naruto and Sasuke had traded places with 2 of Naruto's wood clones with one transforming into Sasuke. The clones then used Bunshin Daibakuha, clone Great Explosion, to explode on the Oto ninjas. Naruto could only use that jutsu with his wood clones though, his rock clones needed an explosive note. Whatever, let's just get this over with. I'm sick of this stupid and futile invasion, said Sasuke who had still been keeping his count and knew he wasn't beating Naruto. He hadn't caught Naruto's kills since the first attack. Naruto and Sasuke began to kill the remaining Oto Jonins easily and swiftly with kunai. They were terrible ninjas and likely given that title probably to help convince Suna to attack. Naruto finished off the last ninja as he then pointed a kunai at the appearance of another presence. Whoa. Calm down Gaki, it's just me, said Jiraiya as he landed near Sasuke and Naruto. Jiraiya-sensei, you're still here, I thought you left, said Naruto as Jiraiya had told him he'd be leaving a week before the final started. Jiraiya smirked, who do you think told Konoha about this invasion? I'm Konoha's spymaster kid, plus I had to protect my home. Though I didn't know Suna would be involved, said Jiraiya as Naruto realized that's why he had come back in the first place. Jiraiya was here to warn the Hokage about the impending invasion. So are we almost done? And how is Gigi? Asked Naruto as he was still concerned about Hiruzen. The purple barrier was still up, so that meant they had to be fighting still. It should be over. Stage 3 is in effect, and that'll pretty much end the fight inside the village. So since they have the village taken care of, why don't we go check on Sensei, said Jiraiya as he noticed Naruto's attire. Nice scarf, and is that Gamakichi on your head? You're a weird kid, you can come to Sasuke. With that said, the trio headed back to the stadium to check on things there. Kage Tower, 10 minutes later. Naruto, Sasuke, and Jiraiya appeared on the rooftop as they saw 3 other Anbu standing outside the barrier. Naruto scanned for the Hokage but couldn't see him due to the large forest blocking his view. Forest? Is Tenzo-sensei there? No, it couldn't be. The forest is too large. Sensei couldn't do something like that. That can't be meant, thought Naruto, fearing the worst. An Anbu turned toward the new arrivals, Jiraiya-sama. What's going on in the barrier? Asked Jiraiya. Sandaime-sama is facing off against Orochimaru. However, Orochimaru used Edo Tensei, reanimation, and brought back the first and second Hokages. They've been fighting since the invasion started, and we haven't seen Hokage-sama since this forest sprang up a while ago, said the Anbu. Have you not tried to get in? Asked Naruto. That barrier is impossible to get into unless you can stop the ones using it. But since they put a barrier around themselves, it's difficult to get to them, replied Anbu. As he finished speaking, Naruto vanished in a shunshin. Where's he going? Did you guys ever think of attacking them from underground? Asked Sasuke as he followed after Naruto. The Sandaime was important to him too. Hiruzen had helped in getting Sasuke back on his feet after the massacre. Naruto appeared in front of a corner of the barrier as he looked at the shinobi inside. Sasuke showed up behind him as the shinobi spoke. Hello shitheads, said the red-headed Kunoichi as she smirked at the 2 arrivals. What the hell are you gonna do, fuckers? You can't get in the barrier, so get the fuck away from me. Naruto said nothing as he slammed a hand into the ground. Naruto uses Mokuton, Daijirin no Jutsu, wood style, great forest technique, to morph his left arm into a wooden branch. Shit, shouted the redhead as a branch appeared in front of her and she had to dodge it or die. However, upon dodging, she had to let go of the jutsu, ending the barrier jutsu entirely. We have a problem. Shit, said one of her teammates who seemingly had 2 heads. The barrier had been compromised, but it had been perfect timing since Orochimaru was needing to leave anyway. He rushed over and grabbed Orochimaru as the redhead and the other 2 ninjas covered their exit. Sasuke wanted to go after them, but Naruto insisted they go check on the Hokage. Naruto and Sasuke arrived to see Jiraiya land near the Hokage, who was lying prone on the ground lifeless. Kurama could sense Naruto's inner turmoil and knew it would lead to nothing good. Naruto, don't do anything brash, said Kurama, trying to keep Naruto thinking straight. Naruto didn't respond as Sasuke found the voice to say, is he? Yes, he gave his life to defeat the first, second, and Orochimaru in battle. Though he couldn't finish off the snake, came the reply of an aged monkey, likely the summoning for Hiruzen. He left me instructions for a Naruto Senju. After a few moments and with Naruto not saying anything, Jiraiya voiced his concerns for his apprentice. Naruto, are you alright? Asked Jiraiya, since he hadn't talked since asking Anbu that question earlier. Naruto didn't speak or even acknowledge that he heard anybody. Naruto had just lost the one man who was practically his life. His grandfather in all but blood. The man who helped start him toward his dream of being a great shinobi, and now he is gone. Naruto gently took Gamakichi off his head as he looked to where Orochimaru fled. Naruto? Asked Jiraiya once more, trying to get a response. Naruto responded by activating his one-tailed cloak and taking off after the fleeing Sannin. Seems the boy is hellbent on getting to him. He must be the boy whom Hiruzen was telling me about, said the monkey as Jiraiya nodded. Yes, he is Enma-sama, said Jiraiya as he noticed Sasuke take off after Naruto. What was that message Sensei wanted to tell him? Enma relayed the message to Jiraiya and then disappeared in a puff of smoke. Jiraiya nodded as he left Sarutobi to his Umbu guards and headed off to assist Naruto and Sasuke. Nearing Konoha's walls, Orochimaru was in pain. His plans were ruined by Hiruzen due to him stealing his arms from him. He was now being assisted by his Sound 4 in fleeing the village, but as they were fleeing, they felt an ominous presence appear. Turning around, they saw Naruto cloaked in a red fox shroud running toward them at a rapidly approaching pace. The ninja with two heads spoke, Orochimaru-sama, we have a problem. The Senju boy is hot on our trail and he's clad in his bijou cloak. Orochimaru looked to see Naruto gaining on them rapidly. Orochimaru knew this wasn't going to end well for any of them if Naruto got to them. But luck seemed to be on Orochimaru's side as his remaining Oto forces appeared to accompany him in his retreat. You all stop him. Kill him if you must, just don't let him continue, said Orochimaru in a panic as everyone besides the Sound 4 and Orochimaru stopped to face off against the Jinchuriki. The Oto ninjas all stood in preparation as Naruto would be there any second. Naruto arrived shortly after Orochimaru had continued on his journey to see his path stopped by nearly 100 Oto shinobi. Fire, said one of the Oto ninjas, commanding the rest. All of the ninjas let loose a barrage of kunai, shuriken, and any other weapon they had at the approaching Naruto. Naruto never stopped running as he let loose a primal roar. That roar created a powerful shockwave that blew back the projectiles as Naruto continued toward Orochimaru. Naruto tried to keep sprinting through, but a group of enemies got in the way. Naruto stabbed a clawed hand cleanly through the heart and out the back of one of them, and it seemed to set something off in Naruto. Naruto then began ripping through every Oto shinobi in the area, cutting them down left and right. Sasuke and Jiraiya appeared a little ways off to watch the carnage Naruto was dishing out to the helpless shinobis. They looked to see Orochimaru gone, as that's why Naruto must have gotten angry. They stopped him from getting his retribution. Let's let him cool down before we try to stop him, said Jiraiya as Sasuke quickly nodded his head. They didn't want any piece of what Naruto was giving out. After about 5 minutes of hunting every Oto ninja and then tearing them apart, Naruto could be seen cloaked still in his chakra shroud, mercilessly punching the last Oto ninja repeatedly. Naruto didn't have any blood on him due to his chakra shroud vaporizing it upon contact. Naruto continued to punch even as he heard a voice. Naruto, stop, it's over, said Kurama, trying to calm his partner down. Naruto never acknowledged Kurama as he continued to turn the ninja's head into mush. Naruto reared back for another punch as he felt his arm get stopped midway. His chakra shroud vanished immediately as he felt a piece of paper touch his forehead. It was a seal tag placed by Jiraiya. Jiraiya-sensei, I couldn't catch, said Naruto as he fell into a deep sleep. Jiraiya nodded his head at Naruto and picked him up and placed him on his shoulder. I know, kid. I know. 1 week later. Team 7 had been dismissed for the day as they all separated after a few D-ranked missions. The missions were to help the village recover after Orochimaru's invasion. Suna had immediately surrendered to Konoha once they knew that Orochimaru had duped them into fighting. Konoha still held the Kazekage's children captive to keep an edge in negotiation. After being dismissed for the day, Naruto had taken to wandering around the village aimlessly with no true destination. While walking around the village, he shifted his gaze up to the Hokage mountain, specifically Sandame's face. Naruto blew out a sigh at the memory of the Sandame. Konoha held a funeral for the lives lost in the invasion, with Hiruzen being one of them. That day, the rain fell as it seemingly wept for their longest tenured Hokage. Ever since that day, the vegetation around Konoha was paler than normal due to Naruto's influence from his somber mood. As Naruto was looking up toward the mountain, he felt a presence behind him, a familiar presence. Hey, Jiraiya-sensei. You need something? said Naruto, devoid of emotion. Jiraiya looked at Naruto as he said, "Yeah, kid. I need you to come with me to find someone, and you also have another mission that you'd be perfect for." Naruto raised an eyebrow as he turned to face Jiraiya. "Find someone? Aren't you the new Hokage? Why would you leave so soon?" asked Naruto confused. "Humph, that position isn't for me, kid. Though I was considered, you were as well," said Jiraiya as Naruto raised both eyebrows in shock. "What? Yeah, kid, your accomplishments travel fast. You were deemed too young to hold the position though, but you did make it in the bingo book," said Jiraiya as he tossed a new bingo book at Naruto. "Page 112, kid." Naruto caught the book and opened it to the page. "Yujito ni?" asked Naruto, confused as he had flipped to a page containing a girl from Kumogakure's information. "Got mixed up, page 76, said Jiraiya as Naruto flipped to his page. There was a picture near his name. The picture of him with his orange scarf and gamakichi on his head. "Not really threatening with that photo," said Naruto as Jiraiya chuckled. As Jiraiya laughed, Naruto read through his information. Name, Naruto Senju. Age, approximate 14. Gender, male. Origin, Konohagakure. Clan, Senju clan. Affiliated with Konoha. Ninja rank, Genin, wears Umbu outfit. Physical description, 5 feet 6 inches tall, 125 pounds. Has deep violet eyes and golden blonde hair with 2 jaw-length bangs framing either side of his face. Also has 6 whisker marks like scars with 3 on each cheek. Elements, Futon, Doton, and Suiton. Rank, A, approach with caution. Special talents, Jinchuriki of the Kyubi. Excellent control over Bijou. Can use Mokuton. Bounty, 50 million Ryo alive or dead stationed by Otogakure. Naruto looked up to Jiraiya as he finished reading over his information. "Well, that makes me seem pretty dangerous despite that picture," said Naruto as he then asked, "Can everyone read this now?" "Yeah, brat, seems Orochimaru put out quite the huge hit on you, and I'm sure when the other Kages get a hold of this information, they'll add their own. You need to watch your back from now on. But luckily I'm here to make sure you get strong enough to do so on your own without me acting like a bodyguard all the time," said Jiraiya as Naruto flipped back to page 112. "Yujito ni, why'd you want me to get to this page? Is she on a mission?" asked Naruto as he looked over Yujito's picture. "Damn. She's beautiful," thought Naruto, slightly mesmerized by Yujito's photo. Jiraiya reached into his Haori. "That's right, brat. On our way to finding this person, you're going to go on a side mission." Jiraiya tossed Naruto a scroll as Naruto read over its contents. "A paw print?" asked Naruto, confused, wondering what kind of mission this was. Jiraiya clapped a hand on Naruto's shoulder. "Yes, my young apprentice. You will approach her and ask for her paw print and if necessary, forcibly take it. She doesn't look like she would have paws, so why would I need her paw print? She's not an animal." Jiraiya deadpanned Naruto. "If you hadn't been drooling over her looks, then you would have actually read her information and figured it out for yourself." Naruto looked sheepish at being caught like that. He then read through Yujito's info. Name, Yujito ni. Age, approximate 16. Gender, female. Origin, Kumogakure. Clan, no known clan affiliation. Affiliated with Kumo. Ninja rank, Jonin. Physical description, 5 feet 5 inches feet tall, 100 pounds. Has dark eyes and long, straight, blonde, hair bound into a ponytail by taut bandages. Elements, Katon and Raiton. Rank, special talents, Jinchuriki of the Nibi. Near perfect control of Bijou. Bounty, no bounty available." Naruto looked shocked to see Yujito be a Jinchuriki as well. "She's just like me," thought Naruto until he realized something. "You want me to find her and ask her for her paw print?" The paw print of the two tails, said Naruto as Jiraiya nodded. Who's the client for this mission? It's not you, is it? Asked Naruto. No, it's not me. Your client is a cat. This was originally a mission for Sasuke, said Jiraiya as Naruto perked up. Sasuke? Why would he give me his mission? Asked Naruto. To get you out of the village for a little while. He took the other cat left on his list and he left this one for you. And you're gonna do it, now enough questions. Pack your stuff and we'll head out in an hour, shouted Jiraiya as he disappeared in a poof of smoke. Naruto nodded his head and vanished in a shunshin to get prepped for the missions. Naruto grabbed his bag and shut his apartment door as he headed off to the village gate. Yujito ni. This should be interesting, thought Naruto as he looked back to the Hokage mountain. Sorry, I couldn't make it in time, Gigi. I miss you and I hope you're resting in peace. Thanks for everything. As Naruto was walking away, he pulled out a sealed envelope with his name on it. To Naruto Senju. From Hiruzen Sarutobi. Naruto decided he'd have to read it at some point shortly, but he'd do it after his trip with Jiraiya. Jiraiya noticed a familiar mop of yellow hair heading toward the main gate. As the mop of hair got closer, Jiraiya stopped leaning on the gate to acknowledge the person who accompanied said mop of yellow hair. Looking good, kid. Though you're missing your baby toad, said Jiraiya as Naruto walked up to him in his Umbu uniform, complete with his orange scarf. But it seems you got a new addition, congrats. Yeah. Seems like I'm all but official. Gamma, member of Squad 3 under Nico Taicho, Captain Cat, said Naruto as he took off his white porcelain mask, painted orange into the shape of a frog. They figured it fit my bingo book description. I'm not official until I get sworn in by the Hokage, but I'm pretty much one. I have to wear my mask and uniform to get used to wearing it when on actual missions, Nico's orders. Jiraiya nodded as he patted Naruto on the back. Well, let's get to it, we have a short walk before we separate, said Jiraiya as he and Naruto began to walk away from Konoha. Hey! You guys have to sign out, shouted one of the gate guards as he was quickly shushed by the other guard. That's Jiraiya-sama. Are you trying to get us in trouble, Kotetsu? Said the guard in a panic. Kotetsu immediately regretted his words. Sorry Izumo. Wait, is that an Umbu with him? Izumo looked at the retreating two figures. Yeah, looks like it. He's got some golden hair, wonder who it is, said Izumo as he went back into his booth to continue reading his magazine. Kotetsu deadpanned, he's obviously Naruto Senju, he's the only one with that hair. Idiot, thought Kotetsu as Jiraiya and Naruto finally disappeared from view. Several hours later, Jiraiya and Naruto stopped at a hotel and booked a room for the night. Upon arriving, Jiraiya left Naruto with instructions to head off for his own mission. He told Naruto it'd take him a while to track this person and even longer to convince them to come back. Naruto was currently in their room preparing himself to head toward Kyumo and track Yujito ni for a paw print. Paw Encyclopedia. Sasuke was given a list of cats to take the paw print of by his older brother as a game. Then why would he want me to handle his list, thought Naruto. To get you out of Konoha, said Kurama as Naruto listened in. Ever since that old man died, you've been quite the depressed kid. I'm guessing he figured you needed to get away for a while so you could handle his death without a constant reminder. Being in Konoha, you were always looking at the mountain with his face on it. So he figured you needed to get out for a while. Naruto nodded his head until he asked, is the Two Tails dangerous? Kurama chuckled in Naruto's head. If you think the Ichibi was dangerous, then yes. This girl can access more than one tail and she's apparently in control. Each bijou is more powerful as the tails grow, said Kurama as Naruto nodded, which makes sense. More tails, more power. And about that paw print, you better be careful cause a paw print of a cat is like asking you if you want a naked picture of yourself recorded. Naruto gulped slightly. He'd have to ask a girl for basically a nude photo. Naruto blushed at the implication but understood Kurama all the same. Naruto was putting down his mission scroll as he stiffened slightly. Naruto sensed a huge presence approaching his door with a smaller but still larger than normal presence accompanying it. Naruto felt the two approach his door as he heard a knock. This isn't going to be good, thought Naruto as he created a wood clone to go and find Jiraiya. Naruto opened the door and got nervous at the sight of the two people there. "Hello Naruto-kun," said the smaller of the two. They were both donning black cloaks with red clouds on them and straw hats. Naruto could see the blue skin of the taller shinobi and only a pair of blood-red eyes from the smaller shinobi. "Sharingan," thought Naruto as he said, "You're Itachi Uchiha, S-rank missing nin from Konoha who killed his whole clan in one night." The taller of the two laughed slightly. "Seems you really are that famous in that village of yours, Itachi-san." "Even this brat knows you," said the taller ninja as he took off his hat. "You're kidding me, right?" Kisame Hoshigaki, another S-rank missing nin, hailing from Kirigakure, a member of the 7 Swordsmen of the Mist and wanted for numerous crimes across the land of water. "Can I ask what you all are here for? It's probably something involving me since you came here specifically," said Naruto as Kisame looked giddy. "Seems I'm more famous than I thought," said Kisame as he touched the sword on his back. "Shall I cut his legs off to ensure he doesn't run away?" whispered Kisame to Itachi. Itachi took off his straw hat as he said, "Please come with us Naruto-kun." Naruto looked for a second until he flared his chakra. The ground around Naruto cracked slightly as he dispelled a genjutsu placed on him through eye contact. "Why'd you put me under a genjutsu first? That must mean whatever I'm coming with you for has bad consequences if that was necessary," said Naruto. When Naruto flared his chakra, Naruto noticed the sword on Kisame's back seemed to wiggle. Samahata is getting excited over the kid's chakra. "Let me capture this one while you hang back," said Kisame as he took the sword off his back. Itachi looked on emotionlessly as Kisame took that as a yes. Kisame lashed out with a fast overhead strike that Naruto backpedaled away from. Naruto went out of the window as he landed on the building's ledge. "This isn't good," thought Naruto as he channeled his one-tailed cloak. Kisame stepped outside following Naruto's retreat. Upon setting his foot down, Kisame saw Naruto appear in front of him with a shunshin and a fist poised to strike. "Kid's fast. His speed with the shunshin is impressive and he can even access his bijou," thought Kisame as he blocked Naruto's punch with his sword. Right before Naruto connected with the bandaged sword, he felt a strange sensation in his body. "What was that?" thought Naruto as he hit the sword and had to backflip away from Kisame's counter sword strike. However, Naruto couldn't get away fully and received a cut across his arm. "Naruto, he absorbed your chakra with that sword. And the way he swings it, it's more powerful and faster than what you saw the swordsman in Wave do. This is not a fight you want to be in, he's only toying with you," said Kurama. Naruto felt the wound on his arm sizzle and heal due to Kurama but knew his friend was right. If I try to channel chakra for a technique, his sword will just steal it. I can't beat him in a straight-out taijutsu fight when he has that big-ass sword. Maybe genjutsu, but I'm not too good at it. That'll make him worry in the slightest. And even if I was able to beat him, Itachi would just interfere. This isn't looking good for the home team. I hope Jiraiya-sensei gets here soon, thought Naruto as he knew he was in deep trouble. Kisame lunged at Naruto again as Naruto took out a kunai to block the downward sword strike. As they were engaged in a clash of sword versus kunai, Kisame easily began to overpower Naruto. Kisame pushed down far enough for his sword to touch Naruto's shoulder. "My great blade Samahata doesn't slice. It shaves," shouted Kisame as he retracted Samahata, tearing a deep gash into Naruto's shoulder. Blood seeped from Naruto's wound but after a few seconds, it healed just like his last wound. "I need to get enough distance to use a technique or maybe a distraction," thought Naruto. "Brat, I'm sure you know this, there's a big difference between a ninja like you and a ninja like me. Especially now, I'm your worst matchup," just give up and I'll only cut from the knee down. If not, I'll shave you to pieces until you can't heal anymore, said Kisame until he saw Naruto slam his hands in the snake seal. Kisame swung Samehada down to absorb his chakra, but Naruto was too fast. Mokuton, Makujiki, wood style, wood locking wall, said Naruto as a dome of wood pillars surrounded him. Kisame's sword smashed through Naruto's wall as he looked in to see Naruto gone. Ha, it seems I let my guard down. Kid's good. Took advantage of my talking to get away. Even used Mokuton. Impressive, said Kisame as he took off back through the room and back into the hallway. Kisame slammed his sword down into the ground as Naruto came flying out of it to dodge. Samehada can smell your chakra, kid, you won't be getting away, finished Kisame as Itachi could be seen flanking Kisame now. Shit, thought Naruto as Kisame looked ready to strike again until Itachi spoke. Hello Sasuke, said Itachi as he turned his head to see another person at the end of the hallway. I do not need you at the moment, Naruto's more important. Sasuke was standing at the end of the hallway garbed in his Umbu outfit just like the one during the exams. Sasuke took off his own white porcelain mask, colored purple into a hawk shape, as his Sharingan spun to life. Itachi, you've told me to live my life with hatred to get strong enough to defeat you. Well, I have, and right now, I want to kill you so bad, said Sasuke clenching his fists in anger. Oh ho! Itachi-san, he looks just like you and has the same eyes. Who is he? I thought you killed all the Uchihas, said Kisame, intrigued by the new arrival, though not forgetting about Naruto. My foolish little brother. I left him alive as he wasn't worth killing, said Itachi as he fully faced Sasuke. Upon looking at Sasuke fully, Itachi noticed that there was something off about Sasuke. Quite good fortune he showed up. Though it'll mean nothing as the elder Uchiha can stop Sasuke from assisting you and you were not making any progress against the fish. You better hope the pervert arrives soon, said Kurama. Yeah, it seems that way, but it does buy some more time for Jiraiya-sensei to show up. My clone got to him. He was already coming here, replied Naruto to Kurama in his head. Sasuke was shaking slightly as he stared at Itachi. I want to kill you so badly, said Sasuke as he then looked toward Naruto. But a friend of mine told me a few things that make me hesitant. What would those things be? Asked Itachi stoically. Sasuke looked back at Itachi as he asked, he made me think over the massacre again and I promised to ask this before killing you, why did you kill our clan? I've told you before, to test my capacity, replied Itachi as Sasuke looked ready to kill. Sasuke, remember our talk, said Naruto as Sasuke visibly calmed down. Yeah, I remember it. Flashback, 2 years ago. Sasuke and Naruto had just finished sparring together. They had been sparring together for a little over 2 years and had become quite good friends. Sasuke got his ass handed to him again by Naruto as he couldn't even hit him cleanly once. As Sasuke was laying on the ground with bruises, he spoke to Naruto about something he hadn't told anyone besides the Hokage. My brother killed my clan that night, said Sasuke as Naruto looked at him with an eyebrow raised. Your brother killed your clan? Asked Naruto as Sasuke nodded. Sasuke had a tear fall as he said, yes. He murdered my whole family in one night and left me alive. I saw the bodies and him standing over my mom and dad as he told me. He left me alive to live this terrible existence, but one day, I'll see him again and won't hesitate to kill him. That's why I have to get stronger, to avenge my family. Damn, that's why he's like that, but something seems wrong about this, thought Naruto as he said, Sasuke. Can I ask you a few things? After seeing Sasuke nod, Naruto continued, what was your brother like? Noticing Sasuke's look, Naruto put up placating hands. You don't have to answer that if it's too personal. Sasuke looked at Naruto apprehensively as he said, no, it's fine. I loved my brother, Itachi. He was my idol, I always tried to surpass him when I was younger. I still try. He was a prodigy, a once-in-a-generation type of guy. He was kind, gentle, and was always there for me. You remind me a lot of him. Me? Yeah, you're good just like he was at that age, and you're kind to everyone just like he was. You also never seem like you're caught off guard by anything. Your thinking seems to be on a whole different level. He was just like that before he killed my clan, said Sasuke as his Sharingan disappeared and a few tears appeared. Naruto nodded his head as he seemed to contemplate something. Hey Sasuke, what did Itachi tell you before he left? Did he tell you why? Sasuke had never opened up to anyone about the massacre this much before, but after the 2 years of training with Naruto and getting to be good friends, he felt he could tell him. He told me he killed our clan to test the limits of his ability, to measure his capacity. He even showed me the entire massacre through his eyes with a powerful genjutsu. He made me watch it over and over again, said Sasuke as his Sharingan came back to life and began to spin. He clenched his fists as he felt a hand touch his shoulder. Naruto said, well Sasuke, don't worry, I'll help you. What? This revenge is mine and mine alone, said Sasuke as he got slightly angry. I know that. It's just he may have a partner that could interfere and I'll be there to stop that person, said Naruto as he held a fist out to Sasuke. Sasuke bumped fist with a nod. Though you have to promise me something. What's that? Asked Sasuke. Make sure you know Itachi killed your clan for those purposes, said Naruto as Sasuke looked shocked. Seeing Sasuke's face, Naruto explained, well, if we're talking about the same Itachi Uchiha, the Umbu captain by the age of 13. Then I find it hard to believe he killed your clan for that reason. It doesn't make sense, especially if you're saying I remind you of him. He seems like the kind of person who wouldn't do something without a good reason. And if he was as good as the records say, then there weren't many shinobi better than him anyway. So why would a guy like him kill his clan just to test his ability? He already didn't have much more power than him since the age of 13 and he was only going to grow. It just doesn't make sense. Sasuke looked at Naruto in disbelief as he spoke calmly about his elder brother. Sasuke wanted to shout at Naruto about how wrong he was, but Naruto was making valid points. To further implement it, Naruto said, and if he really did do it for that reason, you can still kill him. But I'm just asking you to think about it logically. When Naruto saw Sasuke nod his head, Naruto smirked. You ain't beating him as you are. If he was an Umbu captain at 13, he's probably incredible now, and if you can't defeat me, then you are definitely not beating him, Sasuke-chan, said Naruto mockingly. Sasuke returned the smirk as he got up and lunged at Naruto with a fist outstretched. Flashback end. Sasuke looked at Naruto and realized that they were in deep trouble. He had heard that Itachi showed up in search of Naruto and left after leaving Kakashi bedridden. Sasuke immediately took off to find Naruto since that was who Itachi was after. Sasuke and Naruto knew that with even both of them together, they would not be able to defeat either one of them, even 2-on-1. However, Sasuke's timely arrival did buy them some time, and Naruto knew Jiraiya would be here any moment. Sasuke looked back at Itachi as he said, I can't tell if you're lying or not, but it doesn't really matter. You're here and so am I, and I'm going to get my revenge. Naruto stays out of this. This is my fight and I have to know where I stand against him. Sasuke's hand sparked to life as he shouted, Chidori. Sasuke took off toward Itachi as he lunged at him, ready to pierce him. However, Itachi caught Sasuke's wrist with seemingly no effort and snapped it just as easily. Itachi then booted Sasuke down the hallway with a kick as Sasuke struck the wall at the end of the hallway. He stopped that attack like it was nothing. Then he lashed out with a kick that sent Sasuke sailing at least 50 feet, maybe more since the wall stopped him, thought Naruto. Well damn. That was. Started Kurama on Naruto's head before trailing off. I'm not sure what would have been worse. Shaved down by a sword or that. That guy takes way less time with his opponents than the blue guy. Naruto tried to Shunshin to attack Itachi from behind, but Kisame was having none of that. With a swift swipe of Samahata, Naruto felt his chakra leave him again. How about we let them go one-on-one like your friend asked? Don't worry, we'll get to you, said Kisame. Sasuke stood back up off the wall and ran back at Itachi with a fist cocked back. It did no better as he took a knee to the guy that knocked the air out of him. Itachi kicks Sasuke back down the hallway as Itachi then slowly walks toward the hurt Sasuke. Damn it, even after all that training, he's still that much better. It's just like with Naruto, I can't close the gap on either of them, thought Sasuke as he looked up to see Itachi in front of him. Sasuke threw another feeble punch but it was evaded by Itachi as he punched him in the gut. Sasuke felt the air leave him again as he got hunched over from the punch. Sasuke then received a knee directly to the face that brought him back upright. Itachi grasped Sasuke's throat as he said, "You know why you're so weak, because you don't have enough hate. You have no hope of avenging your clan if this is your capacity. Maybe you need some more motivation," said Itachi as his eyes morphed into a triple-bladed shuriken. "Tsukuyomi, Moon Reader," whispered Itachi as he stared at Sasuke. A second later, Sasuke screamed and fainted with Itachi's hand still around his neck. What the hell happened? What technique was that, thought Naruto as he heard a voice behind him. "Kuchios, Gamaguchi Shirbari, summoning, toad mouth bind," said Jiraiya as the hallway slowly morphed into pink flesh. "Sorry I was late, but this is my terrain now. Naruto, don't move." The wall of flesh consumed Sasuke as Itachi had to let go. "That's how they are getting information on us," thought Itachi as he then said, "Kisame, we need to go. If we faced him, we would do no better than a stalemate." Kisame looked reluctant to agree but followed nonetheless. Jiraiya smirked knowing it was impossible to leave but was shocked when he heard an explosion. Jiraiya immediately took off to investigate and saw a huge hole with black flames burning around the edges. Jiraiya looked at the fire for a second until he pulled out a blank scroll and wrote a seal on it. "Fuka Hoin, fire sealing method," said Jiraiya as chakra seeped out of the scroll and surrounded the black flames. The chakra then took the flames and placed them into the scroll, in the center of the scroll. He used fire to escape the esophagus of a fire-breathing toad. "I wonder what kind of flames those were." Jiraiya ended his technique as Sasuke came out of the wall. Naruto performed a shunshin to catch Sasuke as Jiraiya walked over. "You totally jinxed me. As soon as you tell me about Akatsuki, they appear." "It's all your fault," said Naruto as Jiraiya laughed slightly. "Maybe you're right, kid, sorry about that." 2 days later. "Halt. State your name and business," said a ninja sitting at the gate. "My name is Menma. And I'm a writer trying to find the best cuisine in the world," said the man they were speaking to as he handed them his papers. He had on a long-sleeved white shirt and black pants. He wore a matching black haori and had on rectangle-rimmed glasses. He had black spiky hair with 2 bangs framing either side of his face and black eyes. The gate guard checked over his papers as the other gate guard searched him for any weapons. After a clean sweep of no weapons or anything volatile, the gate guard handed him back his papers and said, "Welcome to Kyumo. Enjoy your stay." "Thank you and I'm sure I will," said Menma as he walked into the village. Menma walked around the village for a little while until he spotted a sushi restaurant. Arriving at the restaurant, Menma was greeted by a waitress as he sat down. "Hello, welcome to Kyumo's sushi bar, I'm Amy, and I'll be your server. Can I start you off with a drink?" asked Amy as she pulled out a notepad. Menma smiled a warm smile as he said, "Sure Amy, what would you recommend?" Amy blushed slightly at the handsome face of her customer. Gotcha, thought Menma as he and Amy debated over what he should eat. About an hour later, Amy was laughing with Menma as Menma boasted an incredible claim to the pretty waitress. "You can eat a whole chicken leg in one bite?" asked Amy giggling slightly. Menma smiled, "Of course. I'm quite talented," said Menma as he then asked, "Hey Amy, I have a question for you. Do you know Yujito ni?" Amy looked at Menma with a questioning gaze, why do you ask? Menma put up placating hands, no, I'm a writer, remember? I'm writing an article on Kyomo's most prominent female ninjas and she's on the list my boss gave me to interview. Oh yeah, sorry about that, I forgot. It's just Yujito is important to us here, she's our #1 customer, and we protect our own here, said Amy. She's usually training in the mountains if she's not here or on a mission. So I'd check there, said Amy as she saw Menma placing down a few ryo for the meal and her tip. Thanks so much, Amy-chan. Maybe I'll come back when I'm done. I really enjoyed our time together, said Menma smiling at Amy as he left. Come back anytime, shouted Amy as she saw him leave and remembered something. I never got his name. Menma walked around a little after leaving the sushi bar to find a hotel. Eventually, he found a hotel to check into and proceeded into his room's bathroom to take a shower. Upon stepping out of the shower, he looked in the mirror and saw his golden blonde hair appear again, along with his whisker marks. Naruto had disguised himself as a writer named Menma to infiltrate Kyomo and find Yujito. He dyed his hair jet black and wore makeup to hide his whisker marks. Naruto toweled off as he put on his umbu uniform. Now's it's time to find a cat. But I need to be careful because I'm in foreign territory and this could spark a war, thought Naruto as he placed on his mask and disappeared into the ground. 1 hour later. Standing on the peak of one of Kyomo's surrounding mountains was a Konoha umbu with an orange scarf flowing behind him. He was scanning his surroundings looking for something, or rather, someone. Matatabi is over there, said Kurama on Naruto's head as Naruto looked to see a blue ring of fire in the distance. Matatabi as in the Nibi? So Yujito's over there then. Well, let's get to it, thought Naruto as he performed a series of sunshine to get to where Kurama said Yujito would be. Upon arriving about a few hundred feet away, Naruto scanned around for her. Situated in the center of the ring of fire, Naruto saw the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. She had blonde hair, slightly paler than his own, tied back into a ponytail by bandages. She had on a tight, blue jacket that matched the flames around her and black fitted pants that both clung to her body, accenting her amazing curves perfectly. That photo in the bingo book did her no justice. Is that a C-cup? Damn Jiraiya-sensei, thought Naruto. Jiraiya had put lessons with the ladies into his training, and measuring cup sizes from a distance was in there. As Naruto was looking Yujito over from a distance, he heard Kurama chuckle. Well, it only showed her face, Ningen. But it's time for a confrontation, not time to measure her assets. Remember, be careful, said Kurama as Naruto nodded. Before he could leap down and make his presence known, he heard Yujito speak. I know you're there. I could sense your presence when you landed, so just come out, said Yujito as Naruto stiffened slightly. Of course she did. Now it looks bad, as if I was trying to kill her or something else devious, thought Naruto as he landed in front of Yujito on the platform. Yujito looked at Naruto with narrowed eyes. What is a Konoha umbu doing in Kyomo? To spy on me? Asked Yujito with a slight edge to her voice. She took a ready stance when she saw him move to pull something out of his kunai pouch. I mean no harm. I didn't come to spy on you. I'm just here on a simple mission, said Naruto as he tossed a scroll to Yujito. My mission is to retrieve a paw print from the two tails, and you happen to be her Jinchuriki. That is all I'm here for, and I'll promptly disappear afterward, leaving Kyomo. Yujito read over the scroll as she listened to the umbu speak. Just a paw print? That seems simple. He needs it for his client, Nikoba-chan. She's the grandma cat who came here before and spoke to us. She was so kind. She needs your paw print so she can complete a paw print encyclopedia. What do you think? Thought Yujito as she spoke to her own bijou. Sounds reasonable, but why not rough him up a little, kitten? He did enter your home and got here with ease, so why not show him that Kyomo isn't that weak? Plus I sense something in him that feels familiar, but it's hard to find out because he is suppressing it well. Spar with him first, said the Nibi inside Yujito's consciousness. Yujito nodded and looked back at Umbu. You have a deal, but you have to spar with me first, said Yujito as she tossed him back his scroll. A spar? Asked Naruto, internally excited to face off against a powerful ninja that wasn't wearing an Akatsuki cloak and trying to kill him. Sounds good. What are the rules? Asked Naruto as he had to immediately dodge a punch by Yujito. None, just no killing or maiming, said Yujito, attacking Naruto with a flurry of punches and kicks. Naruto dodged or parried every attack with practiced ease. Yujito threw a right jab at Naruto as he caught her punch in his palm. Someone's eager, but I'd suggest coming at me with more than that. You won't touch me at that level, said Naruto as Yujito smiled slightly. You asked for it, said Yujito. She kicked it up a notch as she and Naruto engaged in a fierce taijutsu battle. The two traded blows with one another with neither person gaining the upper hand over the other. Yujito had impressive speed and flexibility and a very offensive taijutsu while Naruto had more of a swift and precise defensive taijutsu. Eventually, Naruto grabbed Yujito's leg when she tried to kick him and threw her away. Seeing Yujito land on her feet with grace, Naruto laughed slightly. Seems cats do always land on their feet, said Naruto as he thought, she's pretty good. She actually can hit me as much as I hit her. Yujito was thinking the same, he's tough to hit, I can't land a good enough blow on him. Maybe it's time I spiced this up. Yujito ran back at Naruto as she attempted a hand swipe at his face. Naruto leaned his head back to evade the strike but was surprised when he saw Yujito smirking. Shit, thought Naruto as he felt his mask falling off in segmented pieces. Yujito had extended her nails when she swiped at Naruto. It didn't cut into his skin but it did cut through his mask. Gotcha, now let's see that face, thought Yujito before her breath caught in her throat at Umbu's face. That mask was new too. Luckily, I have another but there's no point in putting one on if you're just going to take it off, said Naruto as he looked at Yujito with a smile. Nice claws. Should have known you could do that and they must be pretty sharp to cut off my mask, impressive. Shall we continue? Asked Naruto as he got back into a ready stance. That snapped Yujito out of her shocked state as she smiled. Oh, we're just getting started, handsome, said Yujito as she raced through hand seals extremely fast, ending in the tiger seal. Katan, Enden, fire style, flame bullet, shouted Yujito as she blew out a huge ball of blue fire at Naruto. Naruto clapped his hands together as he blew out an equally big water ball. Suiton, Suidan, water style, water bullet, said Naruto as his water went against Yujito's fire. Steam clouded the field as the two techniques smashed into each other, canceling each other out. Upon the steam clearing, Yujito noticed Naruto was nowhere to be found. She scanned her surroundings for him but couldn't find him at all, not even a trace of where he was. Kitten! Below you, shouted the Nibi in Yujito's head. Yujito jumped out of the way as Naruto popped out of the ground right below her. Naruto was faster than her though and snagged her ankle in midair. Naruto pulled Yujito back down to the ground in front of him as he lashed out with a punch. Yujito dodged the fast strike by moving her head to the side but was unprepared for Naruto's leg sweep and subsequent kick to the midsection that sent her flying back. Yujito rolled through the landing and stood up to notice Naruto already standing in front of her. He's taken it up a notch, thought Yujito as she decided to do the same. As Naruto was about to hit Yujito again, she exploded with chakra that sent Naruto sailing backward. Naruto landed on his feet after being blown back to see Yujito cloaked in a chakra shroud similar to his own, with one tail swaying behind her. Shall we? Asked Yujito as she came at Naruto even faster. Yujito threw a punch that Naruto caught in his palm. Yujito smirked when she realized Naruto caught her chakra-enhanced punch. You can't just catch my punches. This chakra will burn you, thought Yujito until she saw Naruto unharmed by her Bijuu's chakra. How are you unharmed by my chakra? You should be getting burned by it, asked Yujito. She blushed slightly seeing Naruto smile at her again. Maybe I'm just lucky, said Naruto as he had channeled a bit of Kurama's chakra to his palm to keep the chakra from hurting him. Sorry about this, finished Naruto as he kneed Yujito in the stomach and sent her sailing with a kick to her midsection again, in the same spot as earlier. Yujito laid on the ground feeling the effects of Naruto's powerful blows. She would have been able to dodge them if she wasn't so shocked to see him catch her punch earlier. He's been holding back on me. He's so fast and strong and he was only toying with me earlier. How can he not be affected by my chakra, thought Yujito as she began to get up and saw Naruto already in a ready stance. I figured it out. He's a Jinchuriki as well. He puts his Biju's chakra into his palm and attacks to stop himself from being harmed. That's why he got faster and stronger. Oh, and it's the Nine Tails, the strongest of us Biju. Be careful kitten, you wouldn't win if he uses his Biju too unless he can't fully transform, said the Nibi, and Yujito looked shocked. You're the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi? Asked Yujito, slightly shocked to see another Jinchuriki besides herself and Killer Bee. Her Biju cloak disappeared as she stood up fully. Naruto put a hand behind his head as he chuckled slightly. Seems I've been caught. Yes, I am. Now that you know that, is this fight over? I really don't like harming beautiful women, said Naruto. Yujito smiled at his words but got ready to fight some more. No, it's just getting started. I want to find out what else you can do, said Yujito as she ran back to Naruto. Naruto got prepared to defend against the female Jinchuriki as she ran back at him. Naruto calculated her arrival and threw out a quick jab. Yujito came to a stop as she ducked it and noticed Naruto's legs were a little too far apart. Yujito grinned at the opening and entwined her leg together with his. Naruto knew what Yujito was planning as she attempted to force him to the ground. However, Naruto was too strong for Yujito and pushed back. Naruto overpowered Yujito as she was sent to the ground. On her way down though, Yujito used Naruto's momentum to make him fall over as well. Due to Yujito's move, Naruto tripped and fell forward. Naruto stopped himself from hitting the ground with his hands but noticed that he had come face to face with Yujito, who fell on her back underneath Naruto. Their faces were inches apart as they stared at one another. Both stared into the other's eyes, Naruto into Yujito's dark blue and Yujito into Naruto's violet. They both thought the other had beautiful eyes. Yujito could even feel the warmth radiating off of Naruto from above her, and Naruto could smell Yujito's perfume that was scented with flowers. After a few seconds, Naruto hopped off of Yujito as she stood up as well. Naruto and Yujito stood a ways away as Naruto had gotten some distance between them. Both were blushing as Naruto said, "Hee, that was, yeah." Yujito looked away from Naruto as she said, "Yeah, it was, but this spar still isn't over," said Yujito as she said, "Nezumi Kedama, mouse hairball." Yujito looked back at Naruto as she let loose a blue fireball with what appeared to be a mouse inside. Halfway to Naruto, the fireball split into dozens of smaller flaming hairballs as they all continued toward Naruto. Naruto jumped to the left to evade but was shocked, and the fireballs followed after him like homing missiles. As Naruto was evading, he noticed Yujito's hair flare wildly as a blue flame surrounded her. "Seems she can change into her Biju at will," said Kurama as Naruto fired several water balls to extinguish the hairballs. "You're kidding me, right? Well, I needed her to do that anyway because I couldn't get the paw print without it. I need a way to loosen my seal. I want to be able to turn into you." "Who wouldn't want to be a mythical beast of nearly infinite power?" replied Naruto as Kurama laughed slightly. He saw the fully transformed Yujito open her mouth and fire a huge fireball at him. "Water ball won't stop that, so." "Doton, Doria Hiki, Earth Style, Mud Wall," said Naruto as a huge wall rose from the ground in front of him. The fireball blasted its way through Naruto's mud wall as Naruto had to use a shunshin to get out of the way. "Naruto, you need to end this quickly. I'm sure people in Kyumo feel her, they'll be here to investigate." You need to end this fast, said Kurama as Naruto nodded his head in agreement. Naruto then slammed his hands into a snake seal as his chakra flared. Yujito watched Naruto evade her fireball and looked to the left to see him cracking the ground slightly with his chakra. He should just quit if he can't access his bijou like me. I'll kill him if he's not careful. But that is impressive chakra, to be able to crack the ground like that, thought Yujito until she felt her bijou panic. What's wrong? Kitten, his chakra reminds me of only one man. You need to dash, started the Nibi, but it was too late as huge wooden pillars wrapped around Yujito and a circle of 10 wooden pillars rose around her with spikes pointed toward her. What's going on? Is this wood? Thought Yujito was confused as she couldn't feel her bijou anymore. What are you doing? Asked Yujito as she noticed Naruto appear on her nose in a shunshin and touch her between her eyes with his palm. Yujito felt her chakra begin to recede as Naruto spoke. You were gonna find out eventually when your Kage told you about me in the newest bingo book. I'm a user of the bloodline, Mokuton. Mokuton is a Kekkei Genkai that allows me to convert my chakra into a source of life, creating trees and other things like it. It also has the ability to suppress the influence of bijou. Kakwan Nitten Shirshu, 10th Edict of Enlightenment, is what it's called, and that's what you're feeling now, said Naruto as he was suppressing Yujito's chakra. Naruto created a clone at the same time as it fell to the ground near Nibi's huge foot. How in the... thought Yujito, feeling unconsciousness setting in. No. I can't get suppressed, I won't lose, thought Yujito as she struggled against Naruto's jutsu. As Yujito was resisting Naruto's suppression, the Nibi was able to make contact again. That's it, kitten, keep fighting, said Nibi as she joined Yujito in resisting Naruto's technique. This is so much harder than taming Gaara, thought Naruto was sweating slightly from the exertion. Naruto felt himself beginning to lose as the Nibi was too strong for him at his current level. He'd need more work on his Mokuton. I got your back, kid, said Kurama as he funneled his chakra into Naruto. Naruto gained a one-tailed cloak as he immediately began to dominate Yujito in the battle. Kitten, it's too much. He's too powerful, I can't. Said Nibi as she fell into a deep sleep. The fire cat that was Yujito began to transform back into a one-tailed Yujito that turned into an unconscious Yujito laying on the ground. Naruto painted a little as he looked at the downed form of Yujito. It had taken nearly 5 minutes to suppress her, and it would have only happened with Kurama's help. That was tough as hell, thanks for the help, Kurama. I owe you 1 inch, thought Naruto as Kurama grinned and fell asleep. Naruto felt several powerful chakra signatures approaching his location and knew it was assistance for Yujito. Damn it! A tall dark-skinned man, garbed in Kage robes and hat, landed with several other shinobis flanking him on the slightly destroyed platform to see Yujito laying on the ground. Upon looking around, he noticed there was nobody else around. The Kage then barked out orders. Get her to the hospital and let me know when she's awake. I need to find out what happened here. 1 day later, Yujito awoke the next morning before sunrise in a Kyumo hospital bed after her spar with Naruto. About an hour after waking, the Raikage arrived and debriefed her on the events of yesterday. Yujito didn't tell him that she had a fight with a Konoha Umbu but said she just went overboard using the Nibi. Yujito received a light, verbal scolding from her Kage and orders to come to get an important diplomatic mission tomorrow. So Yujito laid in her hospital room alone as she thought of yesterday. Damn, he was so strong. And smart in the way he fought. He also was dash. Hot and charming. Hot and charming. And so, Nibi, shouted Yujito in her mind, realizing she had been tricked by her bijou. I didn't even get his name, said Yujito to Nibi. She was cut from her thoughts as she heard a ribbit. Looking out her window, she saw a small orange toad sitting on her window sill. How did that toad get up here? I'm on the 5th floor. Yo! Are you Yujito? Came the voice of the toad as Yujito gasped sharply. Yes, I can talk. Are you Yujito? Asked the toad once more. Yujito nodded her head dumbly at seeing a toad talk. How can you talk? Why are you here? Did someone send you? Asked Yujito as the toad held up a hand to silence her questions. Great! I got it right on the first try. Here, this will explain everything, said the toad as it tossed a scroll toward Yujito. Bro was right, you are smoking hot, finished the toad as he disappeared in a poof of smoke. That was weird, said the nibby in Yujito's head as she nodded. Yujito then opened up the scroll and read its contents. Hey Yujito-chan. It's the Umbu from yesterday. I had fun sparring against you, you were so strong and a real challenge. We should do it again sometime. Thanks for the paw print. I snagged it with a clone while I was suppressing you. Sorry, I couldn't say goodbye in person, but you know, Konoha ninja in Kumo, standing over a downed Kumo ninja, doesn't look too good. Either way, I had a great time yesterday and I hope to see you in the future, I'm sure I will. Naruto Senju, future Hokage, winky face. Yujito looked at the note and smiled happily at its contents. Ah, a winky face. I hope we meet again too Naruto-kun, and it'll be sooner than you think, thought Yujito. That toad said his bro, Naruto Senju, I bet, called you smoking hot. Said the nibby, and Yujito blushed. She smiled slightly as she looked out of the window at the rising sun. Naruto was a few miles outside of Kumo when he stopped running to look back at the sunrise. Naruto smirked slightly as he thought, ah yeah, the ladies love winky faces. 1 week later. Naruto reunited with Jiraiya 6 days ago as Jiraiya finally found a lead on the person he was searching for. They arrived in a town called Tanzaku-gai as that was the last place the person of interest was seen. After searching for a few hours and night about to fall, Jiraiya decided to find a place to eat. So Naruto pointed to a random bar, and upon walking through the flaps, Jiraiya smiled as he recognized a familiar face. Oh, this was the perfect place, brat, good choice, said Jiraiya as he patted Naruto on the back. Naruto looked confused as he thought he just picked a random bar. Naruto was wearing a black long-sleeved shirt with a zipper fully zipped. He completed his outfit with beige pants that connected to his black shinobi sandals. He had his forehead protector around his forehead as he had stopped wearing his Umbu uniform when he met back up with Jiraiya. Why's this place so perfect, Jiraiya-sensei? Asked Naruto. We found who we were looking for, said Jiraiya as Naruto walked over to a table with a blonde woman sitting in a booth with a dark-haired woman, and a pig? Tsunade. Nice to see you again, said Jiraiya as the blonde woman turned to face them directly. Jiraiya? What do you want? And who's the kid with the shocked face? Said Tsunade as she looked at Naruto. You're Tsunade Senju, said Naruto in a weak voice as he looked at a member of his clan. Yeah, Blondie, I know my name. Jiraiya, who is this kid? Asked Tsunade with a slightly irritated voice. Tsunade is a beautiful woman who looked to be in her 20s despite being over 50. She is a fair-skinned woman with brown eyes and straight, blonde hair tied back into 2 loose ponytails with bangs framing either side of her face. She was wearing a grass-green haori with the kanji for gamble written in black on the back, inside a red circle. Underneath she wears a gray, kimono-style blouse with no sleeves, held closed by a broad, dark bluish-gray obi that matches her pants. She wears open-toed, strappy black sandals with high heels and red polish on both her fingernails and toenails. She also has a violet diamond mark situated on her forehead. Jiraiya laughed as Naruto was still gawking at Tsunade. Jiraiya never told Naruto they were searching for her, and it definitely caught him by surprise. He's my new apprentice, Naruto. Naruto, this is Tsunade and Shizune, said Jiraiya as Naruto finally got out of his stupor. Naruto looked at the black-haired woman as she smiled warmly at him. Why don't you hang with Shizune while my teammate and I speak to one another? Naruto nodded his head as he greeted Shizune. Nice to meet you, Shizune-san, said Naruto as he held out a hand to Tsunade's dark-haired assistant. Nice to meet you too, Naruto. This is Taunton, said Shizune as she shook hands with Naruto and showed him her pig. Naruto and Jiraiya sat in the booth with the two women as Naruto talked to Shizune and played with Taunton. Tsunade held a critical eye toward Naruto as she already knew who he was. Naruto, the Kyuubi kid? I haven't really heard from him since he was born. Seems he's grown up to look just like Jiraiya's last pupil, the fourth, thought Tsunade as she noticed a green glow coming from her chest. Why is my grandfather's necklace glowing? So what do I owe the pleasure of seeing you here, said Tsunade to Jiraiya as she sipped from her cup. Well, we just stopped here for something to eat, and imagine my surprise when I see you here, of all people, said Jiraiya with a smile. Tsunade scoffed, seems like both of my old teammates decided to visit me on the same day. Jiraiya narrowed his eyes slightly and asked, so you're saying Orochimaru was here? What happened? Nothing much. We just said hello, answered Tsunade. Jiraiya smirked slightly. Is that why there was a section of the palace wall destroyed? Just a hello? Asked Jiraiya. Jiraiya and Naruto had seen a huge piece of the wall around Tanzaku-gai in pieces on their way into the city. TCH, Orochimaru already told me about Sensei, so what do you want, Jiraiya? Jiraiya took on a serious face as he said, I'll get straight to the point then. Konoha has requested that you become its fifth Hokage. At the word Hokage, the table went silent. Shizune looked shocked as she couldn't believe what was just said. Tsunade had no outside reaction to the word but inwardly was shocked. Naruto got excited at the prospect of Tsunade being the Hokage. He'd be able to have a family member always around, especially someone like Tsunade. I'll say it again, the village advisors have requested that you become the village's Godame Hokage, fifth Hokage. So what do you say, said Jiraiya since Tsunade was still quiet. Tsunade took a deep breath and said, not possible, I refuse. Jiraiya laughed slightly, I remember that line. I asked you to date me a long time ago and those were the same words you used, said Jiraiya as Naruto looked shocked at Tsunade. Tsunade noticed Naruto's facial expressions and scoffed slightly. Seems your apprentice is shocked at that. He even looks like your last one, though he's less gifted, to still be a genin at that age, terrible, said Tsunade as Naruto narrowed his eyes slightly. That's a pretty tough comparison as it's hard for anyone to beat Yondaime in those fields. His capabilities as a ninja were unrivaled in history. He was talented with techniques, incredibly smart, and very popular. He was also handsome like me, said Jiraiya. He was going to continue with how Naruto could surpass Yondaime with time but Tsunade cut him off. Even still, the fourth died young. He threw his life away for the village, said Tsunade as Naruto glared at her. How could you say that? He died protecting what was precious to him, said Naruto. Tsunade scoffed. Life isn't like money. Only an idiot bets his life so easily, said Tsunade. Naruto began to shake with rage slightly. An idiot, thought Naruto. My grandfather, the Shodame Hokage, and the Nidaime wished to end the war, but they wasted their lives before they could accomplish that, said Tsunade as Naruto put his head down slightly. Jiraiya noticed Naruto's anger rising and hoped he'd keep a level head. Tsunade, you've changed. I don't know what you've been thinking, but you seem to have put it in words, said Jiraiya. Tsunade laughed slightly. I'm in my 50s despite looking like this. Time changes people. Sarutobi-sensei is the same. If an old man tries to act brave, of course, he'll die, said Tsunade. The title Hokage is a piece of crap. Only an idiot becomes one, finished Tsunade as she blinked to see a fist inches from her nose. Naruto had jumped on the table and threw a punch at Tsunade, only to have Jiraiya stop him by grabbing his shirt. Tsunade saw Naruto holding a very serious face at her as she merely laughed. Seems someone wants to fight, said Tsunade as Naruto nodded his head. Fine. Meet me outside, brat. Naruto vanished in a shunshin as Tsunade merely walked outside to face him. Jiraiya facepalmed as he got up to follow. Come on, Shizune. Someone needs to scrap that kid's remains off the street after Tsunade is done with him. Outside the bar, Naruto stood across Tsunade in the middle of the street. "One finger," said Tsunade as she held up her index finger. "It's all it'll take to beat a genin," finished Tsunade as she noticed Naruto still hadn't said anything. Jiraiya and Shizune walked outside as Jiraiya said, "Tsunade, don't do this. We can talk about this like grown-ups. This brat tried to punch me. He needs to know his place," said Tsunade as she looked to see Naruto still standing there. "Well, if you're not coming, then I will." Tsunade took off toward Naruto as she attempted a backhanded swipe to his face, but Naruto ducked. Tsunade was confused as he moved at a speed too fast for a genin and because of that received a powerful elbow to the ribs sending her stumbling backward. Jiraiya smiled slightly at the scene of Tsunade getting hit and of Shizune almost dropping Taunton in shock at what she had just witnessed. "Jiraiya-sama, how can a genin fight like that? He shouldn't be able to hold a candle to her," said Shizune watching Tsunade finish stumbling back from Naruto's elbow strike. "Naruto may be a genius, but he's likely one of the strongest in Konoha right now. He just needs a little more time and he'll be the best," said Jiraiya as he then saw what Naruto was about to do. "Did he finish it?" thought Jiraiya in shock. Naruto stood back up after elbowing Tsunade to hold his right arm up with his palm facing upward. A few seconds afterward, Jiraiya, Shizune, and Tsunade heard a familiar swirling sound only produced by one jutsu. In Naruto's hand, blue chakra began to swirl around in his hand as a blue orb, double the size of his fist, pulsed into his hand. "Rasengan," shouted Naruto. "It's not fully completed yet, but to come that far since I showed it to him during the finals," thought Jiraiya as he saw Naruto's incomplete Rasengan. However, he still can't keep it from being slightly bigger than normal. It's just like Minato's. Tsunade knew the jutsu from a mile away and the danger present. She wasn't prepared to see the kid perform a shunshin and appear in front of her with his hand cocked back. That shunshin speed is incredible. "I have to," thought Tsunade as her entire hand glowed brightly with chakra and she smashed it into Naruto's Rasengan. Naruto was blown back into the wall as his jutsu backfired and sent him into the wall. A completed Rasengan would have gone through Tsunade's hand with ease, but due to its instability in Naruto's hand, it backfired and blew up on him. "I still don't have that down all the way," said Naruto. Shizune ran over to Naruto and helped him out of the wall. She then began to apply medical jutsu to heal him. "Jiraiya, why did you teach him such a dangerous move? You know that only you or the Yondaime can do that move. If I hadn't used chakra to stop it, it would have done more than just blow up in his face. It could have taken his arm off had he smashed it into something." Jiraiya paid Tsunade no attention as he walked over and patted Naruto on the back. "You one brat. Good on ya. And only a month and a half since I showed you that jutsu during the finals, nice progress," said Jiraiya as Naruto grinned. "What, he didn't win? He got in a lucky shot and then blew himself up with his own jutsu. How did he win?" asked Tsunade to see Naruto smirk. Naruto held up one finger as he said, "You used more than one finger, so I win by default." "Ha! I'm 1-1 against the Sannin Jiraiya-sensei, you're next." "Oh ho brat, you're decades too early to face me," said Jiraiya as he noticed Tsunade trying to leave. "I can't let you do that, Tsunadeheim. As I said, the Konoha Council has selected you as their Godame. The kid and I aren't letting you leave just so you can vanish again, we'll stay with you until you come back to Konoha." Tsunade sneered at him. "Why would I? Why should I? I already said I'm not going. That place has taken too much away from me. It isn't getting on with my life either." "Shizune, we're going," said Tsunade as she tried to leave but Jiraiya didn't move. Tsunade scoffed slightly as she turned away from him. As she turned away, she spotted the area where Naruto's jutsu backfired. She smirked slightly as she got an idea. "Hey kid, how about a wager? You know that the jutsu you just used was created by the Yondaime Hokage. If you can master that move in a week, then I'll come back to Konoha with you, and even give you this necklace. But if you don't, then you head back to Konoha without me and you give me all the money you have on you." Naruto looked at the necklace and could see it glowing. "Deal. 1 week. I'll show you a complete Rasengan and you come with us. If not, then we go home alone." Tsunade smirked as she walked away with Shizune. "Tsunade-sama, why did you bet your necklace away so easily like that?" "It's a family heirloom," said Shizune as Tsunade looked back at Naruto and Jiraiya's retreating forms. "He can't complete it in a week anyway. It took Jiraiya several more months when he had it that far, so that brat won't even be close by the end of the week." "Easy bet," said Tsunade as she then thought, "that kid, he's connected to my grandfather's necklace. It seems to resonate around him." As she finished her thought, her necklace stopped glowing as she got farther away from Naruto. "Who are you?" Later that night, Naruto heard a knock at his hotel room door. Opening it, he found Shizune standing there. "Oh hey Shizune-san. What are you doing here?" She came inside and ran a green glowing hand over him. "Well, you seem alright from that earlier jutsu." "Thank goodness," said Shizune. "Yeah. It used to be way worse, trust me. Did you need something?" "I need to get some rest so I can train tomorrow for this bet." "Yes Naruto-san, that's what I need to talk to you about. I don't want you to think of Tsunade-sama as a bad person, she's just bitter," said Shizune awkwardly as Naruto nodded his head. "Because she lost her brother and lover in the war, right?" asked Naruto as Shizune gasped. "How could you know about something like that?" "Well, I'm quite the curious individual and I love reading about history. The stories of the Sannin were one of my favorites and hers happened to be there. It didn't explain why she left Konoha, so I asked Gigi about it and he told me the tragic tales of Nawaki Senju and Dan Kato." "Your uncle, right?" said Naruto. Shizune nodded her head, becoming more impressed by the golden blonde-haired ninja in front of her. "Well, if you know that, then you must know that that necklace is cursed. It will kill anybody who wears it besides Tsunade-sama." "It did to both Nawaki and Uncle Dan," said Shizune. "Well, then I'm next 'cause I'm winning this bet and that necklace. So tell her to get her bags packed because she's going back to Konoha with me and Jiraiya-sensei." "Believe it," said Naruto with finality. Shizune smiled slightly at Naruto's determination and actually hoped he'd win. She wanted to go back to Konoha too. 1 day later, Naruto left at sunrise to go train and found a clearing to do so in. He was standing atop a lake wearing only his beige pants, foregoing the rest to keep it from getting wet. He had been practicing the Rasengan for about 3 hours and was making some progress. "I have to complete this jutsu. Konoha needs Tsunade back. She could help so many people, like Rock Lee. She can even help Sakura-chan with her medical ninjutsu," thought Naruto as he channeled another Rasengan, not to mention she's family. Naruto's Rasengan destabilized after 10 seconds as it fizzled away. "Getting closer, I hope I can fix." "No, I will finish this jutsu by the end of the week." "One more time," thought Naruto as he was about to attempt another one until he had to dodge a fireball. "Who would attack me?" thought Naruto as he then noticed something special about his attacker's jutsu. Blue fire. "Hey Yujito-chan," said Naruto as there was a sharpened nail on his throat. Yujito was standing behind Naruto with a smile as she greeted Naruto in kind. "Hello, Naruto-kun. Fancy meeting you here," said Yujito. She was wearing a short-sleeved black and blue blouse with black pants, both of which had matching cloud patterns on them, blue fingerless gloves, and a chain of blue beads wrapped around her left hand. She also had on a black kimono forehead protector. Naruto smiled as well. "Can I ask why you're here?" "You're not a stalker, are you?" questioned Naruto as he turned on the water to see Yujito pull out a scroll. "The day I woke up, my Kage asked me to come in the next day for an important mission. That mission entailed a response to Jiraiya's scroll about the Akatsuki. We heard from Intel that he was seen in Tanzaku-gai and that's why I headed there. He also debriefed me on the newest A-rank ninja out of Konoha, Naruto Senju. Imagine my surprise when I then see him here, said Yujito as Naruto laughed slightly. As Naruto was chuckling, Yujito's bijou decided to toss in her 2 cents. Kitten, he's shirtless. He looks like a demigod, claim him now, shouted the Nibby in Yujito's mind as Yujito blushed slightly. Not now Nibby, said Yujito as she cut the connection. She heard Naruto speak again but wasn't listening. What was that? Naruto smiled. Internal debate with your bijou. I get that all the time with my partner. What's yours like? Kyubi gets pretty grumpy, said Naruto as Kurama internally stirred. Grumpy? I'm gonna F*** you up. La wait, did you censor me? Asked Kurama confused because his word got bleeped. Kurama's face then got pixelated. Oh, I'm kicking your A*** later whenever I get the cha dash, started Kurama again until Naruto cut the connection to focus on Yujito. Nibby's not too difficult, she's rather easy to get along with once you get past her trying to meddle with my private life, said Yujito. Well Ms. Ni, would you like for me to show you to Jiraiya-sensei, said Naruto as he put his black shirt and sandals back on. As Naruto was tying his forehead protector around his forehead, he asked, but why not get some food first? Yujito smirked slightly. Are you asking me on a date, Mr. Senju? Asked Yujito as Naruto smiled slightly. A date? You'll have to work a little harder for that. I'm just asking you to join me for some lunch. So what do you say? Said Naruto as Yujito nodded her head and they walked into town. On the way to find a place to eat, Naruto decided to ask a question. Hey, what was it like growing up in Kyumo? You know, being a Jinchuriki and whatnot, asked Naruto curious to find out if all Jinchuriki grew up with difficulties as he did. It's okay if you don't want to talk about it. Yujito looked at Naruto as she said, no, it's fine. Life was pretty tough in the beginning. I became a Jinchuriki at the age of 2 and was shunned for a while. People were afraid of me because of what I held. I didn't really get away from it until I was 6, and that was when I was put through a rigorous training regimen to hone my abilities, especially Jinchuriki abilities, said Yujito with a dejected look. Yujito's look then turned to one of passion as she continued with, but I was determined to win the village's affection and that determination proved great results in my training. I finished that training when I was 12 and was made a genin. A year later I won Kyumo's Chunin exams and became a Chunin. At that point, the people of Kyumo began looking at me differently. They saw my prowess in the exams and finally began to start loving me as I had always wanted. It only got better as I was made a jonin 2 years later at 15 and was deemed the strongest female in Kyumo. Life was hard at first, but they eventually warmed up to me and it's better than I could ever imagine now. Naruto nodded his head with a smile as he said, hell yeah. That's an amazing story. I'm happy for you, said Naruto as Yujito looked at Naruto with a questioning gaze. Oh, my story. It's the same really. My entire existence ever since I can remember was ignored. The only people who seemed to care were Sandaime Hokage and my orphanage mother. Then at the age of 6, Sandaime showed me a restaurant and there I met 2 more people that cared for me. I swore on that day that I'd get as strong as him so I could protect my friends and my village. I was going to become the Hokage so that everyone had to acknowledge and see me as someone important. My dreams are beginning to come true as the villagers are starting to see me as me, not the Kyubi who destroyed the village all those years ago. I'm not finished yet, but things have definitely changed and the villagers welcome my presence nowadays. Naruto finished his tale with a small smile as he remembered those times. Yujito looked at Naruto with a smile. Seems our lives aren't that different from Naruto-kun, thought Yujito as she saw Naruto opening the flaps to a small restaurant. Yujito stepped in and started laughing as she turned to see Naruto's grin. Sushi, how'd you know? Asked Yujito amused. I have my ways, replied Naruto. Yujito and Naruto sat and talked for about an hour over things like their favorite colors, blue, Yujito, and orange, Naruto. After an intriguing talk, Naruto decided to escort Yujito to Jiraiya. When Naruto went to open the flaps back up, he noticed a pair of wooden geta outside. Opening the flap, Naruto said, "Jiraiya-sensei. I was just about to come looking for you." "Hello, Gaki. I see you've been keeping busy." "Hello Miss Yujito ni," said Jiraiya as Yujito stepped out and greeted Jiraiya. "Jiraiya-sama, it is a pleasure to meet you." "I've heard so much about you," said Yujito as she shook hands with Jiraiya. Yujito then pulled out a scroll and gave it to Jiraiya as she said, "I'm here to deliver the reply from the Raikage about your request to deal with the Akatsuki. We heard you were here in Tanzaku-gai and I was sent to be the liaison between us. I spotted Naruto-kun on the way here and he said he'd bring me to you after lunch." Jiraiya read over the scroll as he nodded his head. "Well young lady, it seems the terms are good but I can't sign off on this. Only the Hokage can and we don't have one at the moment," said Jiraiya as Yujito looked confused, wondering what would happen. "But you're in luck. Gaki here will bring home the new Hokage in 6 days. So why don't you stick around? I'm sure you and he can find a way to pass the time," finished Jiraiya with a lecherous grin. Naruto laughed nervously as Yujito blushed. "Now remember Gaki, you have 6 days to finish the jutsu so get to it kiddo, and don't get sidetracked," said Jiraiya as Naruto nodded his head. "Hey Yugi-chan. You wanna come?" asked Naruto as Yujito nodded her head. As the two were leaving, Naruto turned to see Jiraiya holding 2 thumbs up. Jiraiya mouthed the words, "Or do get sidetracked and become a man." Naruto laughed slightly as he and Yujito disappeared back to the clearing he was at previously. 6 days later. Several days passed since Yujito had shown up and she and Naruto spent every day together. Yujito and Naruto trained and sparred with each other during those days as well as eat lunch together. They had met before sunrise today and eventually, Naruto could be seen smiling as he stood over a panting Yujito. "Seems I can beat Yugi-chan again," said Naruto. They had just finished another spar. "That makes it 5-3 with me in the lead." Yujito painted a little more as she breathed out, "That'll change soon. I almost had you in that last one. You just got lucky." Naruto held a hand out to help Yujito up as she then asked, "Do you think you completed the Rasengan? Today's the big day, right?" Naruto held up his right arm as he said, "Whether I think I can do it or not is irrelevant. There's no think, I'm going to do it, I have to," finished Naruto as Yujito nodded her head. "Now let's go find Jiraiya-sensei and get this over with." Arriving back at his hotel, Naruto knocked on Jiraiya's door with Yujito behind him. Jiraiya had gone drinking with Tsunade last night and Naruto figured he'd still be in bed. However, Naruto received no answer and began to worry slightly. Naruto looked to his left down the hallway since he felt a familiar presence approaching. "Naruto-kun. Tsunade-sama is gone. I can't find her," said Shizune as Naruto looked more worried. "Jiraiya-sensei's not in his room started Naruto until Jiraiya's door opened. Jiraiya had opened the door but immediately slunk against it as he said, "Where's Tsunade? I don't know. She knocked me out and left me here. We have to find her, it could be too late," said Shizune as Naruto took notice of Jiraiya's condition. "You look like hell Jiraiya-sensei." "What happened?" asked Naruto. "Tsunade drugged me last night." "Shizune, did Orochimaru offer her something?" asked Jiraiya. Shizune looked as if she feared the worst. "Yes. He offered to bring Nawaki and Dan back if she healed his arms. Today was the day they were supposed to meet again and that's where she probably is. We have to stop her," said Naruto as he thought. "She wouldn't do that, would she? She has to know it's a trap." While Naruto was in his thoughts, Shizune began to heal Jiraiya as best she could. "You should be fine now but that drug won't be out of your system for a few hours." "It's the best I could do," said Shizune as Jiraiya straightened up. Well, let's get to it, shall we? Let Operation Whoop Ass, consisting of finding my teammates, beating some snake ass, and dragging Tsunade back by her ponytails, commence, said Jiraiya as he looked at Yujito. Almost forgot about you. You can join in if you want. Yujito looked at Naruto and back at Jiraiya as she nodded her head firmly. Jiraiya and Naruto were headed toward the hotel exit until they realized something. How the hell are we going to find her? Asked Naruto as Jiraiya laughed sheepishly. Well, you see, Shizune. Any ideas? Asked Jiraiya as Shizune smiled. Tauntaun. Several minutes later. Tauntaun had led the small group back to the ruined castle wall to see even more destruction. Naruto smiled at the sight of the demolished wall. Seems like Tsunade Bakon declined, said Naruto as Shizune looked at Naruto with a raised eyebrow. Aunt? Why'd he call her that? Thought Shizune. Yeah, it does. But that could be a good or bad thing depending on the circumstances with Orochimaru. We need to make sure she's safe. Yujito, you hang back, we'll use you as a surprise if it's necessary, said Jiraiya as Yujito nodded. The rest of them headed into the field on the other side of the wall to see Tsunade seemingly frozen. She was on her knees shaking slightly as they noticed Kabuto preparing to put her down fully. This is the end, shouted Kabuto as he brought down his kunai. Halfway down, Kabuto noticed a mop of yellow hair in between him and Tsunade. Kabuto was then sent sailing backward as a foot connected with his chin. Kabuto landed on the ground and skidded slightly from the quick kick. When he looked up to see who hit him, he saw Naruto putting his foot down. Hell yeah, I look awesome, thought Naruto as he then took notice that he had hit Kabuto. Seems he was a spy. I knew not to trust him. Shizune rushed over to Tsunade to take her away and clean off the blood on her. Jiraiya landed next to Naruto and stood by his side. Kabuto stood back up as Orochimaru walked beside him. Ah, what a reunion this is. Jiraiya and Naruto-kun showed up as well. Though I wonder what for, said Orochimaru as Jiraiya held an arm up to stop Naruto from attacking Orochimaru. That's not your fight, kid. Even with useless arms, he'd still be too much for you to handle. You just handle Specs over there while I take on Orochimaru, said Jiraiya as Naruto nodded a little hesitantly. This isn't good. Naruto will be a hassle to deal with and I don't think Orochimaru-sama can beat Jiraiya in his current condition, thought Kabuto as he noticed Orochimaru still wanting to go. Oh well. As you wish, Orochimaru-sama. Kabuto. Do it, said Orochimaru as Kabuto lifted his sleeve to reveal a tattoo. Kabuto smeared a bit of blood on the tattoo and went through several hand seals. Kuchios no Jutsu, summoning technique, said Kabuto as two huge snakes appeared underneath him and Orochimaru. Jiraiya had spotted what Kabuto was about to do and copied him. Kuchios no Jutsu, summoning technique, said Jiraiya as a huge poof of smoke appeared. When the smoke cleared, a small orange toad appeared. Yo, said Gamakichi with a wave. Wow, Jiraiya-sensei, she messed you up good, said Naruto as he then saw Jiraiya slam his palms onto the ground. Doton, Yomi Numa, swamp of the underworld, said Jiraiya as a huge swamp appeared below the snakes and began sinking them slightly. Yeah, she got you good. That swamp is terrible compared to the one you showed me, said Naruto as Jiraiya put his head down in shame. My own apprentice is talking down on me. What has this world come to? Asked Jiraiya as he lifted his head immediately. Alright, you got 4 eyes. I'll get Orochimaru, finished Jiraiya as they leaped into action. Kabuto jumped off the sinking snake's head to land back down on the ground in front of Naruto while Jiraiya jumped onto the snake to face Orochimaru. Seeing Naruto, Kabuto smirked slightly. It's a pleasure being able to face the last 2 Senjus on the same day, said Kabuto as he noticed Shizune and Tsunade's shocked faces. Oh, you didn't know? Yes, young Naruto-kun here is as much Senju as you are Tsunade-sama. probably more. He's a Senju, thought Tsunade as she stopped shaking, wondering who Naruto was. And I'm also the guy who's about to kick your ass. Not to mention, you'll also help me win this bet since I really like that necklace and I can have a family member come back with me to Konoha, said Naruto. Orochimaru-sama wanted you to join us, but since you're hanging with that toad then I'll have to kill you. A pity, you were going to be a great ninja one day, said Kabuto. Despite how good you are Naruto-kun, you won't be able to defeat me. I'm on par with Kakashi Hatake and I know for a fact you still can't beat him, meaning you can't beat me, said Kabuto with an arrogant smirk on his face. Naruto laughed loudly at Kabuto as he said, "You're on par with Kakashi-sensei? I'll believe it when I see it." Naruto made a come-hither motion with his hand as Kabuto's hands became coated with blue chakra. Shizune recognized the technique immediately. Naruto-kun. That is Chakura no Mezu, chakra scalpel. Be careful, he can harm your insides with a mere touch, said Shizune as Naruto nodded his head. So basically stay away from his ass as it wouldn't be wise to let him in close, said Naruto as Kabuto chuckled. Try and keep me away, said Kabuto as he rushed at Naruto with impressive speed. Naruto dodged his first attacks with ease as he kicked him away to gain some distance. However, Kabuto was on Naruto again immediately with another flurry of swipes. Naruto continued dodging Kabuto's lethal strikes as he grunted in effort. Damn, you're annoying to fight. You're fast for a medic nin and one touch is all you need to debilitate your opponent. This sucks, said Naruto as Kabuto smirked again. You're correct Naruto-kun. I'm just going to keep coming at you until you eventually make a mistake and then it'll be the end. So just give up now, said Kabuto as he struck out with his left hand but extended too far. Not today, said Naruto as he deftly caught Kabuto by the wrist and slung him away. Naruto slammed his hands in the snake seal as he said, I've got a better idea. Mokuton, Jukai Koten, wood style, nativity of a sea of trees, said Naruto as he channeled his chakra. The ground surrounding Naruto cracked slightly as a forest emerged from the ground around Kabuto and stood tall after a few seconds. Kabuto tried to jump out of the way of the technique but the trees appeared too fast and he got snagged by the branches. Kabuto was held tight by the trees as he couldn't move his body. Shizune and Tsunade looked shocked at the display. Especially Tsunade as she hadn't seen anyone besides her grandfather do that. That's not possible, thought Tsunade. She noticed her necklace glowed again in the presence of Naruto's chakra. He can use Mokuton. That should be impossible. Tsunade was cut from her thoughts as she saw Naruto hold up his right hand, similar to before when the two of them sparred. Prepare to pay up Bakon, said Naruto as a swirl of chakra appeared in his hand. Come on. Come on. Rotate. Power. Combine, thought Naruto as a perfect Rasengan appeared in his hand. Here I come Kabuto. Naruto performed a shunshin as he appeared on the branch in front of Kabuto with his jutsu cocked back. This'll hurt. Rasengan, shouted Naruto as he drove the jutsu into Kabuto's gut. Naruto ground the jutsu into Kabuto as it then exploded and sent Kabuto flying through Naruto's forest, smashing through trees and landing roughly on the ground. Naruto smiled and disappeared again in a shunshin to appear in front of the still shocked Tsunade. I believe you owe me a necklace, said Naruto smiling at the stunned Tsunade. He's just like Nawaki when he grins like that. This kid, thought Tsunade of the grinning Naruto. As she was thinking that she saw something heading straight for Naruto and he hadn't noticed it yet. No. 1 minute earlier, Orochimaru looked down from his stalemate fight with the drug Jiraiya to see his assistant get smashed by a Rasengan. Damn that brat of yours. He's getting too strong. I have to kill him now before he can potentially ruin my plans, said Orochimaru as he took off in a dead sprint toward Naruto. Jiraiya tried stopping Orochimaru but was tossed aside, due to his still being too weak from Tsunade's drug. Orochimaru launched off the snake as something appeared from his mouth. The legendary Kusanagi sword emerged from the serpent's mouth as Naruto's back was turned toward the Sannin as he charged in. Naruto turned at the last second to see Orochimaru closing in on him fast. Not enough time to block with a kunai. If I move, Tsunade Bakon will be in trouble. Shit, thought Naruto as Orochimaru was inches away from stabbing him. Orochimaru's sword got a hair away from Naruto's chest when he was blasted by a huge stream of blue fire. Orochimaru was sent skidding on the ground as he eventually stopped, still on fire from the surprise attack. Katan, Guka, fire style, hellfire, said Yujito as she landed in the field next to Naruto. Yujito's jutsu sent a powerful jet of fire that she aimed right at Orochimaru. Yujito had been watching the whole time and headed in when she saw Naruto defeat Kabuto. It was a good thing too as it put her in the perfect place to see Orochimaru heading toward Naruto and be able to stop him. You owe me, Naruto-kun. Naruto breathed an internal sigh of relief. He then looked at Yujito as he said, and what would suffice as payment? Show me around Konoha when you all return there. I'm sure it'll take a while for your Kage to get started, and look at what my Kage said Yujito with a smile. Naruto smirked slightly. Are you making me go on a date with you? Said Naruto as Yujito returned his smirk. A date? You'll have to work a little harder for that. I'm just asking you to show me around your village, said Yujito as Naruto smiled. While that was happening, Orochimaru had seemingly regurgitated another Orochimaru that was free of the scorch marks from Yujito's jutsu and turned toward them with a murderous look. I'm going to kill you both, shouted Orochimaru until he was decked with a punch to the face that sent him careening back toward Naruto's forest. Naruto and Yujito noticed Tsunade standing in his place as she turned to address him. You alright, kid? Asked Tsunade as Naruto nodded. Good, cause I owe you a serious beatdown for this Senju business and calling me an ant. Yeah, Shizun told me about that other time too. By the way, started Tsunade as she took off her necklace and placed it around Naruto. You won the bet. Fair and square. It looks nice on you, finished Tsunade as Naruto smiled at her. Orochimaru stood back up as he cracked his jaw back into place. Tsunade? What are you doing protecting this kid? Why risk your life for a simple genin like him? Tsunade looked back at Orochimaru murderously as she cracked her knuckles. I would risk my life because I am Tsunade Senju, granddaughter of the Shodai Hokage and grandniece of the Nidaime Hokage, and as of this moment I am the Godaime Hokage of Konoha, said Tsunade, and Shizun stood by her sensei's side. Hell yeah, Bachan. Kick his ass already so we can go home, said Naruto with enthusiasm. Orochimaru had none of that. Kabuto, summon Manda, said Orochimaru as Kabuto appeared beside him with a huge hole in his shirt and a spiral mark on his exposed belly. Kabuto drew more blood and wiped it across Orochimaru's tattoo, preparing to summon Manda. What? You hit him dead on with a Rasengan? He should be done, asked Yujito, confused as to how he got back up after that. Naruto, came the shout of Jiraiya as he landed on the ground a little bit away from Tsunade. Naruto grabbed Yujito's hand as he rushed to his sensei's side with Yujito following behind him. Bring out Bunta. Naruto nodded his head and bit his thumb, preparing to summon. Tsunade followed suit as she prepared to summon her own boss creature. Kuchios no Jutsu, summoning technique, came the shout of Tsunade, Naruto, and Kabuto as three huge puffs of smoke went up across the landscape. The smoke cleared to reveal a giant slug, toad, and snake respectively. Gamabunta took a drag from his pipe and blew it out as he said, well, if it isn't Manda and Katsuyu, how long's it been since I've seen you two? Jiraiya looked down at Gamabunta from atop his head. Bunta, we need your help with this one. We need to take down Orochimaru, said Jiraiya. Sure, why not? I guess I can now finally get that snakeskin wallet I've been wanting, said Gamabunta as Naruto laughed. Why would a toad want a snakeskin wallet? But how did Kabuto get up? That Rasengan was perfect and I felt it grind into his body, asked Naruto confused. If he's anything like Orochimaru, he's hell to put down, said Jiraiya. Yujito was pondering a different thing altogether. Hey Naruto-kun. How are all summoned creatures just ready to go? I mean, do they never get summoned by surprise? Asked Yujito as Naruto shrugged. I was wondering the same, but honestly I couldn't figure it out, so I gave up, replied Naruto as he heard Tsunade speak. This is Orochimaru. After today, there will be one less Sannin in the world, said Tsunade as she and Shizune stood atop Katsuyu, her slug summon. Orochimaru simply chuckled while Manda hissed underneath him. Orochimaru, what do you think you're doing summoning me out here? Asked Manda in a threatening voice. Kabuto tried to explain, but Manda cut him off. Silence. I won't bother speaking to a flunky like you. When this is over, I'll be expecting over 100 sacrifices. Orochimaru smirked. Of course. Nothing less for you, Manda. Kabuto let loose a breath at that. If Manda knew Orochimaru couldn't use his arms, he may attack him and try to eat us, thought Kabuto. Well, let's get to it, said Jiraiya as Gamabunta drew his tanto and rushed at Manda. Manda evaded the attack and slithered away at a rapid pace. Manda slithered to Gamabunta's blind spot and attempted to bite down into him, but Gamabunta jumped away at the last second to avoid the bite. Gamabunta did lose his sword in his evasion. Manda just continued toward Katsuyu as he had to dodge a spew of acid from the slug's mouth. Manda eventually wrapped himself around Katsuyu and began to constrict the slug summon. Seeing her summoner's dilemma, Tsunade barked out an order. Katsuyu. Separate. Listening to her summoner, Katsuyu separated into thousands of mini slugs and merged back into her giant form a distance away from Manda. Manda looked surprised by Katsuyu and as such was a sitting duck for an attack. Bunta, bring the oil, shouted Jiraiya as he went through several hand seals. Jiraiya spewed out a torrent of fire as Gamabunta sent out a jet of oil toward Manda that converged to create a devastating fire. Katan, Gameu Enden, fire release, toad oil flame bombs. The firestorm appeared to melt Manda's figure, but it was revealed to be just his shed skin. Manda then burst from the ground in front of Gamabunta and prepared to strike him. That was stopped as Manda got hit by an impressive number of wooden branches. Mokutan, Daijirin no Jutsu, wood style, great forest technique, said Naruto as he retracted his left arm. Naruto noticed that the jutsu was much stronger than before and saw the necklace around him glowing. Did this necklace make my Mokutan stronger? It was owned by Hashirama Jiji, so it's possible. Naruto saw Manda looking at him with unbridled fury as he simply smirked back. That's when he realized something. Where's Tsunade back on? Without missing a beat, Tsunade came crashing down with Gamabunta's sword to pin Manda to the ground through his mouth. Tsunade then ran up Manda's body and began pummeling Orochimaru while Shizune engaged Kabuto. Yujito looked at the scene before her with a pained expression. You think we should help? Asked Yujito as Jiraiya shook his head. Let's let Tsunadeheim take care of this. I mean, she looks like she's doing fine out there, said Jiraiya as he had pulled a telescope out and watched Tsunade mercilessly beat on Orochimaru. Orochimaru can surely take a punch. Anybody else's head would be liquidated at this point, said Naruto. Naruto felt something land on his head as he looked to see Gamakichi there. She isn't playing. I can't watch this. I'm out, said Gamakichi as he and Naruto fist bumped before the toad disappeared in a puff of smoke. Gamabunta did likewise as the trio fell to the earth. As they were falling, Tsunade decked Orochimaru with another punch that sent him sailing away from her almost 100 feet away. Kabuto disengaged Shizune as he appeared by his master's side. Orochimaru sneered at Tsunade as he said, "Damn you, Tsunade. But you've only impeded my plans for a little while. There are other ways to heal my arms, and when that happens, I will destroy Konoha and kill all of you." Kabuto and Orochimaru disappeared into the earth as they fled the scene. Man, that guy just wouldn't die, said Tsunade and Shizune, Jiraiya, Naruto, and Yujito landed beside her. Katsuyu and Manda had disappeared shortly after Gamabunta, so it was just those 5 in the area. "We'll get him next time, Tsunadeheim," said Jiraiya as he patted her on the back. "Good news is we're headed back to Konoha. You get to become the Godame. Shizune gets to reunite with her old friends and Naruto gets to show off his girlfriend," finished Jiraiya as Naruto shook his head slightly. "Who said she was my girlfriend, or that I had one for that matter?" asked Naruto as he and Yujito looked confused. She was wondering where girlfriend came from as well. Jiraiya smirked slightly. "You still haven't let go of her hand since you grabbed it earlier. And she doesn't seem to mind it one bit at all," said Jiraiya as Naruto and Yujito blushed. "Let's just get back to Konoha," shouted Naruto as everyone agreed. Naruto then realized that it was getting dark. Calling an audible. "We enjoy one more night and then head out in the morning." "Sounds good to me, brat." "See you all in the morning," said Tsunade as Naruto, Yujito, and Jiraiya said goodbye and began walking away. Yujito and Jiraiya were laughing as Naruto seemed to say something funny. "He's going to be a fine man when he grows up. And I think I'll help him get there," thought Tsunade as she and Shizune left as well. That night. It was around midnight and Naruto was sitting on his bed alone in his room. Yujito and Jiraiya had left for their own rooms and were sound asleep. Naruto dug into his backpack as he pulled out something. It was the envelope that Sarutobi had written to him. "You going to read that now, Naruto?" asked Kurama as he was also anxious to see what was inside as well. "No time like the present," said Naruto as he opened the envelope. It contained a letter as Naruto opened it and read the first line. "Hello, Naruto-kun." "Here we go," thought Naruto as he read through the rest of the letter. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time. Later.